Gaza didn't score at Italia 90. He didn't score. Bellingham's got 6 in 6. It's different. I don't...
This might be the most iconic image in English sporting history, the moment Bobby Moore lifted the World Cup. It meant the flag of St George could forever be draped on the Jules Rimet, and Moore would be a hero always, despite the twists and turns of his eventful World Cup career. Bobby Moore went to the World Cup in 1962, but didn't play a single game. A year later, though, he was made England captain, leading the side as they built up to 66. But Moore might never have played in the tournament. He was in a contract dispute with West Ham and was technically a free agent. And an FA rule meant free agents were ineligible to play for England. Sir Alf Ramsey stepped in and forced West Ham and Moore to sign a deal. Phew. Then, when the final came around, Moore might not have played in that either. According to Sir Geoff Hurst's autobiography, he overheard Sir Alf discussing the idea of dropping Moore in favour of Norman Hunter to help deal with the German attack. But he stuck with Moore and didn't live to regret it. 4 years later, Moore was shrouded in controversy. On a pre-tournament team trip to Colombia, he was arrested, accused of stealing a bracelet from a gift shop, and placed under house arrest for 4 days. Perhaps the most famous match of that tournament was England's group game against Brazil, in which he made what's still described as the perfect tackle. It's so beautiful. After the game, another iconic image. The quarter-final defeat to West Germany would be his last World Cup match. England failed to qualify in '74 and Moore stepped away, leaving the most incredible legacy. He was made an inaugural inductee to the English Football Hall of Fame in 2002, and in 2007 this statue was unveiled of Moore outside the new Wembley Stadium. It was described as the finishing touch.
Good morning, it's almost 4 minutes past 6, the day after the night before, Thursday, July the 16th. This is World Cup Breakfast with Arnold Clark, the perfect time to upgrade your car, get 2 years free servicing when you buy a used car in the upgrade event. Check it out online. Let's have some positivity. Thank God we don't have to listen to people saying it's coming home for at least a couple of years. Thomas Tuchel says he has no regrets. Well, he's the only one. He should have. He had one job, and what did he do? He blew it. Okay, we got past Panama, Croatia, Ghana, Congo, Mexico, and Norway. A dream route. We got past those giants of world football. And as soon as we come up against someone halfway decent, the coach's shortcomings are ruthlessly, horribly exposed. But it's okay, because he says he has no regrets. Morning, Gabby.
Thank you, mate. Morning, you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay. Yeah. Okay.
Tough 4 hours ahead, mate. That was... I got no words, really, Jeff.
A tough 4 hours ahead. It wasn't as tough as the time we just had to sit through.
Honestly, mate, I got into the hotel at 1:30. Literally, like, every motorway closed on the way to London from Birmingham. Incredible. But just like, we threw it away, mate. He threw it away. Thomas Tuchel is a coward. Simple as that. He's a coward. We brought Thomas Tuchel in, paid him £8 million a year, got rid of Gareth Southgate to get over the line in these big moments, these big decisions, positivity. Gareth Southgate done fantastic, but he didn't have what it took to get us to the final of the World Cup or win a World Cup. For Thomas Tuchel to go 1-0 ahead and straight away take off our only quick player on the pitch, Anthony Gordon, who can get us up the pitch, go to 5 at the back and not see that if you go into 5 at the back, you need a get-out ball, which we didn't have. Rodgers, Bellingham, Kane on their feet, shattered. And then how can you go to 5 at the back, Jeff, tell me, but don't win a header? How can, for the first goal, you allow Enzo Fernandez on his own, but all our players are stood in our own box trying to defend, as if we've got Peter Crouch and Jan Koller? As if they've got Jan Koller and Peter Crouch up front, and they're so amazing at crosses. And then the second goal, 2v1 against Messi, O'Reilly and Spence. Too easy, gets the cross in. Dan Burn has been brought on to be the lion of a defender, like he did against Mexico. He stood on the near post space, marking nobody. Lautaro Martinez is in between Stones and Konsa, and nobody's marking him. We didn't deal with any crosses second half. But don't want to blame the players. Our manager is a coward. Simple as that. Over to you, mate.
Geraint in Wales has brought a smile on my face. Sorry. He said, are England still having a bank holiday on Monday? Thank you, Geraint. Yeah. But look, it's not surprising that people will laugh. Scots and the Welsh, Irish, they'll laugh at England because of, England's belief and arrogance. But the truth is, Gabby, in my opinion, we got it wrong from the word go. Everyone's got different opinions. But the squad was wrong. Yeah. Some of the team selection was wrong. Yeah. And the tactics, obviously, were totally wrong. Mark says the first decent team England facing us ever, they lost,
Same old story, though, isn't it?
It's the same old story. Should he stand down? I mean, he says he won't. Should he stand down? Should he be sacked?
Listen, I was thinking about it in the car on the way, Jeff, back to London, and I thought, don't be sitting. I thought about it overnight, and I woke up and I thought, he has to go, mate. I'm sorry, Jeff. When we are paying £8 million for a foreign coach to come in and win us our first trophy since 1966, and that's what he does in a semi-final for an Argentinian side that were there for the taking, and to do what he did, 10 times worse than anything Southgate's ever done negatively. I'm sorry, he has to go, mate. Simple as that. The FA have to make a decision, and I just didn't like his interview, the arrogance of his interview. No regrets. Yes, you have got regrets, mate. You've got regrets. There was loads of trouble after the game across the country. Everyone was together. And that's on you, Thomas Tuchel. That's on you. The negativity, cowardly tactics. You can't blame the players. I'm hearing people say, Jeff, that, the players on the pitch have got to make decisions. There's some experience. No, you listen to your coach. Your coach tells you to play a certain formation. You listen to him. Yeah. He has to go. Simple as that. No foreign coach ever won the World Cup. Maybe for a reason. We've given it a go now again with a foreign coach, and that's what he's done.
I mean, Alan here has just tested the same sort of thing that you were saying. So Tuchel's shortcomings have been exposed. What about the players' shortcomings? Well, look, the players, we've got 6 defenders on. We've got 4 central defenders on at the end for the cross that Messi puts into Laura Martinez. So, yes, I get that. But ultimately, the can has to be carried by the coach, especially with the negativity. I mean, look, everybody said this, but the negative. Anthony Gordon is flying. We scored a brilliant goal. Brilliant goal. You'll have loved, the fact that Kane, Declan Rice, who's soon to come off as well, Morgan Rogers, and a lovely finish to Anthony Gordon. And Gordon's feeling 10 feet tall, so what do we do? Yeah. Oh, we'll take him off. He's our outlet. He's our pace. He can carry the ball.
Exactly, our quick player. What did Spain do when they scored against France? They went for a second. They got a second. Could have got a third or fourth. Keeping the ball, not scared, not dropping back and changing the formation. Jeff, we talk about our midfield. Everyone says our midfield is the best in the tournament. £117 million for Anderson, £100 million for Declan Rice. Jude Bellingham's probably worth £150 million. So we've got all this expensive, talented midfielders, and we can't control the game. We're scared. No offence to Argentina. Listen, they've got fight, determination. First half, not much in it. We go a goal ahead. The best form of defence, Jeff, is attack. Simple as that. To sit back like we did and like try and defend because it worked against Mexico. Mexico, we had 10 men, and it's Mexico. It's Mexico. This isn't Argentina. Different ball game. Messi didn't have a touch first half. Spence was on him. Anderson was on him. Second half, Messi's picking it up on that right-hand side, doing what he wants. He's got quality from anywhere. Rodri the ball comes on. So easy for him to get crosses in. Martin O'Neill used to hammer me if I didn't stop a cross when I played left wing. Never mind the fullbacks. He would scream at them at half-time, stop the cross. Stop the cross.
Yeah.
And we just let crosses in so easily. No one attacks the ball.
Yeah, we've dropped so deep. It's an invitation.
Of course it is.
Come on, show us what you've got. And even at 39, he showed us precisely.
Jeff, look at the saves Pickford made. McAllister with the header hits the post. McAllister turns and hits the post. That one stood out for me, Jeff, where before the second goal, McAllister receives it inside our 18-yard box and turns and hits the post because all our players, Jeff, are back just in front of Pickford. I don't understand. They haven't got a Peter Crouch. There's no Batty Stewart. There's no Jan Collar. There's no 7-foot players in the box that you're so scared.
Gabby, I was saying the same thing. We're sitting watching with a few people, and I was saying exactly the same thing. Of course, I'm not worried about corners. I said because they don't have any real height in that box. And look at the size of our defenders.
Why are we dropping back then? What, Jeff? Honestly, mate, like, Italy hurt me. Do you mean Croatia hurt me? This is different.
Yeah.
This is 10 times worse because Argentina were there for the taking. The best way to go and win that game is what we were doing. Push up. You change Gordon for Rashford. That's the only change you make. If you've got to bring Rodgers off for Saka or Madueke, whatever you do, go after them. I mean,
I'm just watching an interview with Thomas Tuchel now where he says the first 55 minutes, everyone would agree we deserved to be 1-0 up. Well, that was our only shot.
Yeah,
that was our only attempt on goal.
There was nothing in it.
It was evenly balanced at that stage. Look, everyone's going to be frustrated today. Of course they are. And
12% possession, though, Jeff.
Dave from Southend says that what I think is important, a lot of people are going to say is if Thomas Tuchel is still the England manager next when the Euros come round, everyone should boycott watching it. I certainly won't be watching. Now, look, nobody's going to boycott watching it, Dave, but what I do think that tells you is Thomas Tuchel has now lost
yes, he has.
most,
he has.
if not all, of the goodwill he had from England football fans.
Jeff, as well, though, Jeff, like that stat's flying around, isn't it? How can you score a goal in a semi-final and then for 35 minutes between we score and Argentina score their second, we have 12% possession? Yeah. Dear Lord. Like, what has he been watching?
Yeah. Ashley Newcastle fan says, good morning, Jeff and Gabby. Let's have some positivity and encouraging signs. F1 is on this weekend. Ash, do you want me to feel even worse than I do now? F1? You know what you can do with your F1, don't you? But it is the Open Golf this week. Thank goodness for that. And we will talk about that a bit later on. Let's just quickly head to the phone lines, shall we? I imagine everyone's feeling the same way. Daniel's a Liverpool fan. Morning, Daniel.
Morning, Daniel.
Morning. I'm fuming. Genuinely fuming. I'm so angry. I don't even know what to say at the moment. What on earth is he doing bringing 6 bloody defenders on? Like, everybody in the country can see that was the wrong thing to do. Everybody except him. Like, you're in a semi-final, 1-0 up against our arch rivals in Argentina, and I bloody hate the Argies. I genuinely hate them. But to defend after 55 minutes on our 6-yard line, it's suicidal. It was always going to happen. I sat there going, we're losing this. Yeah. And it was going to happen. Messi did the same corner 5 times in a row, and they act surprised over it. It's ridiculous.
You know what bravery is, mate? Bravery is after you score the first goal, go and get the second. Like we did against Mexico, go for it. Not it's not brave to get 6 defenders on the pitch and try and defend the box. Yeah. That's not brave.
Spain went 1-0 up against apparently the best France side, and they played the Spanish way.
Exactly.
England, we get a goal and go, oh, I'm too afraid. Yep. I don't want to go again. Yep. It's pathetic.
Coward of a manager, mate.
Needs to go.
Yes.
I tell you another contrast by that.
Playing back. Keep him in America. I don't want him.
Yeah, I agree, mate.
Thank you, Dan.
Cheers,
and another indicator. Lionel Messi, particularly the first, I lost count of the number of times he lost the ball.
Exactly.
Lost count of the number of times he lost the ball. But what makes him a great player is that he still keeps on trying to do something special.
100%.
Regardless of how often he's lost that ball. He knows he's got such self-belief that he knows in the end it will It will come
One
off.
of his crosses he whipped in second half, Jeff, I was like, oh my God, that is the best cross I've seen in years. He absolutely whipped it in at pace. But first half, the tactics were perfect.
Yeah.
Any player close to him, you press him.
Yeah.
Spence was doing it. Anderson was doing it. At times, Bellingham was doing it. And we dealt with the dark arts, Jeff. They started from the first minute. Paredes on Bellingham, trying to wind him up. He's laughing, walking away. We dealt with the physicality and the dirtiness of the Argentinians. But to leave Messi on his own, the best player to ever kick a ball, is wild.
I felt, I'm going to qualify this, but Jed Spence gets his foot in on Messi, and this is for the winning goal. The ball runs wide. Messi at 39 gallops to keep it in play. Our boys stayed camped, Jed Spence included, on the edge of the box. And I thought Jed Spence was our best player on the night, by the way, as well. Yeah. I thought he had an absolutely exceptional game. But just on that moment, don't just sit camped in the box. Get out to him. Jay in Devon says, let's be honest, guys, the red flags have been there. What game have we dominated in this tournament? We lack control and an air of superiority about how we play. Rice is bigged up like world class, but he can't do what a Rodri does. And what happened to the message from the Croatia game that we will lose our way, losing, having a go? I want Tuchel gone. Jay says, I'm 42 years of age. I've suffered pain after pain. It will never come.
Yeah, do you know what it is, Jeff, now? I think after that, there's like, for most English people across the world, there's no belief now.
No.
Up-and-coming tournaments, like, I don't believe. Yeah. I don't believe anymore.
Coming up, we hear from Tim Vickery on just how Argentinians have reacted to the victory. We'll take your calls all morning, of course, 03717 223344 on that self-destruction by this England team.
He seems to be into the fact that it was kind of a premeditated idea by Gabriel Clark to ask a question in a divisive way. You know him, you've done this job, so what did you make of the interview and what do you make of all the fallout from it?
Well, straight after the interviews, I sent Gabriel a text and I said, a masterclass in the art of post-match interviewing. And I would stand by that now. Gabriel's not a sensationalist. He's not out for headlines. He will look you in the eye and ask a straight question. Having been in that situation, I think he might have been slightly surprised when Tuchel came and said we were poor and we didn't do this and we didn't do that. That might have surprised him slightly, and he threw the mentality line in that Tuchel bit his head off about. But those situations, you've got a limited amount of time. There's no way that you're going to go, I'm going to ask him this and wind him up here, and then I'll get Bellingham, and by the way, what a story that's going to be. That's not Gabriel. Gabriel's the best in the business at doing that by a considerable margin and has been for many years. And when Gabriel put it to him, your manager wasn't very happy overall, and he shrugged his shoulders and said, whatever. Fine.
Do you think Gabriel could have qualified it a bit more? Maybe in hindsight, he thinks if he'd said the manager wasn't happy with performance, not in terms of effort, maybe in terms of quality, you can play better than that as a team.
I think you and everyone that's ever asked a question would look back and go, perhaps I could have asked that question a bit better. But in the heat of the moment there, in those bowels, when the adrenaline is still running, it was a straightforward, it was honest bit of interviewing. It wasn't tricky. And I was thinking about it coming in here. There's been nothing from the England camp.
No drama, is there?
There's been nothing. There's been no fights. There's been no drunks. There's been no women. There's been nothing untoward. And I think a lot of people jumped on this. Here's a bit of division here, Bellingham and Tuchel, etc., etc. There's a bit of history there.
Hello, I'm Matt Forden from talkSPORT. This is How to Win the World Cup.
This is the best squad I think England have ever had.
He used to love America, now he doesn't. It's very sad.
It was so important to succeed because of all the pressure we received.
Don't jump for this one, I'm going to knock his head off.
Warning, this podcast does not guarantee England will actually win anything.
Don't cry for me, Argentina. The truth is, I never left you.
Good morning. It is the World Cup Breakfast Show with me, Jeff Stelling and Gabby Agbonlahor. Bruising night for England, crashing out of the World Cup. First ever game against England for Lionel Messi, of course, and no England fan will forget that. I mean, first half, he couldn't do anything right. For much of the game, he couldn't do anything right. And then England invited him to break their hearts, and he did exactly that. Connor Smith says, is the system fundamentally wrong? We are fans led to believe we have world-class players when in reality we haven't. Two at most with Kane and Bellingham. Is the Premier League really the best league? Well, take a look at the Champions League results. That tells you that the Premier League is the best league in England, in Europe rather, I beg your pardon, at least. Hard to compare.
It's hard to say that, though, because there was nothing in it, and we score and we sit back.
Yeah.
The tactics cost us, not the players. Yeah. Simple as that. Wouldn't you love to have seen, Jeff? You know what? We scored that first goal. Argentina are the ones panicking with subs. We're still playing our game. And you know what? We're keeping the ball. We're frustrating them. We're popping it around like Spain. When are we going to do that as a country? When?
And nobody will like hearing this. The Argentinians, you know, their passion, their desire, their fervour. Yeah. Okay, they resort to some underhand tactics, but they're winners.
They are.
They're winners.
All winners.
And that's big difference from my point of view. So Thomas Tuchel parking the bus, and everybody's quoting this stat in there, right? To 12% possession after our goal to the end of the game. Look, for more on this, let's bring in our South American expert, Tim Vickery. Morning, Tim.
Morning, Tim.
Morning, gentlemen. How you doing? As well as it can be expected, I hope.
Yeah, we're okay. So, dare I ask how this is being received in Argentina?
I absolutely love this team. They're in awe of this team. Remember, this team, like the great Spain side of 15 years ago, not only won a World Cup, they've won 2 continental titles either side of it. So a Copa America in 21 and a Copa America in 24. And they've got a winning habit and they don't want it to stop. And the element of suffering, because it's been 4 knockout games now they've won, and they've suffered in all of them. And that in the Argentine psyche, that just plays so well. It reminds them so much of 1990 when they lost in the final. But they still sing about it now. They sing about 1990 more than anything else. They've got a song about it at the moment going on. We're going to avenge the World Cup that was robbed from Diego in 1990. So, you know, this thing of battling through and finding it when you need it. And they were, I agree entirely on England. England let them back. England had them where England should have wanted them and really should have finished them off. But you let them back, and the quality and the calm, you know, there's no panic whatsoever. No. It's a team that believe that they can find something when they really need it.
Tim, we give them a hand. Of course, we do with the tactics. I totally get that. But even when that first goal went in, I said to my friend watching the game, okay, all the best in that stadium, because that fan base, that energy, there's only one winner in this game. You can't change the tactics that were working perfectly in a tight game and allow Messi time on the ball, Rodri de Paul time on the ball. I'm sorry, but our manager was a coward last night. Simple as that.
No, I think it was just a disastrous performance from the coach. Mm-hmm. And I put out on Twitter as soon as Consa came on, I don't understand this substitution because England were left without an out ball. Yep. And you saw some of the nasty stuff that Argentina were doing first half. Why were they doing that? because they're worried about England.
Yeah,
They're worried.
We dealt with that fine, though, Tim.
When Argentina are in rhythm and are imposing themselves on a game, as they were last 30 minutes, they don't want the game to be broken up into bits and bits and bits. They want the ball to be rolling and rolling. Why wasn't it rolling in that first half? Because Argentina didn't want it to roll, because they were worried. And every time that England run at them, you can see that they're worried. And you're thinking, space is going to open up in the second half, and that's going to benefit England. And it does. That's the story of the goal. And then we've got them with both their centre-backs on a yellow card. They take off the holding midfielder. They are there to be taken. And Tuchel takes off his out ball. So England are trapped, like hanging like a team of bats off their own crossbar. It's as if Argentina wrote a script for this game and England followed it to the letter. Because the last half hour, England do everything that Argentina want them to do.
Yeah. And you can't help but compare the two coaches, because obviously Tuchel's been brought in to win this World Cup. We're paying him an absolute fortune. We've all talked about his substitutions. The contrast between that and Scaloni's when he brings on Rodrigo de Paul and Nico Gonzalez and Lautaro Martinez, you can't help but see how one coach got it so right and the other one got it so wrong.
Well, I live in Brazil, Jeff, and I spent a long time just kind of scratching my head when Brazil went out. How on earth that Ancelotti got it so wrong? Because Brazil were all right in the game. It wasn't very glamorous, but it was all right until he brings on Neymar, and it just destroys his whole team. And I'm thinking, how can one of the world's great coaches make such a disastrous substitution? And now we've seen another one. You know, Tuchel's got track record, but how can such a well-renowned coach just destroy his own team with substitutions? I'm really, really mystified. It's happened now twice to two Champions League winning coaches. Maybe the international game is just so different. I don't know, but I just found it astonishing.
Do you think though what we did against Mexico, the way we sat back and we dug in and we cleared crosses, was in his mind and thinking we can do that again?
Well, firstly, that's necessity. That's at altitude when you're down to 10 men.
Yes, I agree.
Secondly, Lionel Messi isn't Mexican. Exactly. And because the quality of the crosses that were coming in, not only from Messi, but De Paul. De Paul got some fantastic crosses in. And Jeff was making a point just then. You know, the best way to defend against crosses is stopping them at source. You know, don't let them come in. And England were all in a penalty box, letting them come in. And Alexis McAllister and the timing of the run in the box, he could have easily have had 2 or 3, but just so deep that Enzo Fernandez was just getting target practice. And he thought, in the end, one of these is going to go in. You know, he can smack a ball from 25, 30. And they were just letting him, because when you're all so deep like that, you're not really defending. You're not stopping a cross coming in. You're not stopping a shot, and no one has an out ball. And that, for me, was a tragedy of the England performance, because there are so many out balls that England have in that squad, and none of them were on the pitch when they needed to be on the pitch.
Tim, thanks very much indeed.
Thank you, Tim.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Big thanks to our South American football expert, Tim Vickery. Gary says instead of bringing on 57 defenders, all you had to do was bring in Maynard to man-mark Messi for the last 30 minutes. Leaving him in that space was suicide, and Darren echoes that. He's a Man United fan. He says the one player that's good in tight spaces and ball retention is Maynard. Why didn't he get 1 minute this match or in the tournament at all?
I think as well, for Gay, he's come out and says we sat back too much. The England captain has come out after the game and says after the goal we sat back. The players can see it. That's why I don't want no criticism to these players, even though some of them didn't perform to the standards. They were all probably confused. Bellingham probably thinking, what's going on here? We've got them here. Let's go for the second goal. This is all on Thomas Tuchel. Simple as that.
Completely concur, Gabby. Coming up, some proper positivity as well. The Open gets underway today.
Can't wait.
It's live on talkSPORT 2. We'll build up that next. We'll also cross to Atlanta to find out just how painful it was for a fan inside the stadium. That's next.
you want to talk about Messi? Genuine question. Does Messi get in our team?
What do you mean?
Would you swap Bellingham for Messi?
But he's not playing there.
Okay, would you swap Kane for Messi?
He's not playing there.
Okay,
he's a right winger.
Okay, he might get in that position. You wouldn't swap. You wouldn't swap Bellingham, would you? You wouldn't swap Bellingham for me. If I offered you the option now, Messi in, Bellingham out.
Okay, yeah, but you'd move him around, wouldn't you?
No, but if you just give you that a trade, you give them Bellingham, we get Messi. Would you do it? Nah. Would you? You unpatriotic swine.
I didn't say yes. I did say no. But you're asking.
Would you swap Kane for Messi? If that was on offer now, just for this game,
a one-off game.
This game,
a one-off game.
This game on Wednesday night in Atlanta. I'll give you the opportunity to sub off Harry Kane from our starting lineup and bring in Lionel Messi. Do you do that? Absolutely not.
I think. Oh, come on, mate.
Today,
come on.
Harry Kane is a better footballer than Messi today. I'm not saying legacy. Lionel Messi is the greatest.
Lionel Messi is the leading goal scorer.
Lionel Messi is the greatest footballer to have ever lived. No doubt.
He is the leading goal scorer in this World Cup.
In his peak, no doubt.
I know, but
Kane is better than him today, isn't he?
I don't think you can say that.
There is a wane to Lionel.
I don't think
Messi, Lionel Messi. 08. If we're having this conversation, we're having this conversation. 09. When he destroyed Man United in Rome.
Play in this World Cup?
Yeah, I thought he was exceptional. I thought he was exceptional.
Did you watch Harry Kane against Norway? He didn't have his greatest game, did he?
No, he didn't. No, he
didn't.
Dead
on his feet. Come on.
Look at his goals against Congo.
I know, but look at Messi's goals in the tournament.
Okay, I'll give you the option.
The photo of the World Cup winning captain hoisting the trophy into the air is one of the most iconic images in sport. Maradona, Bobby Moore, Cafu, these pictures, mwah. Was Lionel Messi's tainted though? In Qatar in 2022, Messi finally got his hands on the World Cup. But as he prepared to lift the trophy in those famous blue and white stripes, the Emir of Qatar approached, flanked by Gianni Infantino, with a bisht in hand. Now, a bisht is a traditional Arabic robe worn by royalty, and in it, Messi raised Argentina's golden prize into the night sky. Cynics said Qatar had paid for this exact photograph, knowing it would go down in history. But look, the badge of his country isn't even visible on Messi's chest. Pablo Zabaleta said on TV that there was no reason to do this. In fact, let's just bring this picture back. I mean, just imagine if the three lions were obscured on it. Some suggest what happened in Doha was the icing on the sports washing cake. But it was a massive moment of cultural significance for the Arabic world. So much so that a member of Oman's parliament offered to buy the bisht for $1 million. Messi himself has never publicly commented, and I'll leave it up to you to decide how he felt. But maybe he was just happy to finally get his hands on the World Cup.
Championship update on talkSPORT with Arnold Clark. Buy a used car and get a free 2-year service plan.
Yeah, great news is for the next 5 minutes, we're not going to talk about the World Cup. The 154th Open Championship kicks off today at historic Royal Birkdale. The world's elite golfers battling it out. It's all live for you on talkSPORT 2. Let's bring in talkSPORT's Rupert Bell. Morning, Rupert.
Morning, Rupert.
Good morning, Jeff. Morning, Gabby. I better sound upbeat, hadn't I? Because I'm talking about something that we might actually do well in.
It's your job.
We've got lots of we got lots of Englishmen who are, one of them is going to be teeing it up in about 1 minute's time.
Yeah.
Matthew Baldwin, who actually is a member here, he will kickstart the 154th Open Championship. How much sleep he got, I don't know, but he would have had to be here, say, 4:30 in the morning, alarm call at 3:30. Game didn't finish, till 10 o'clock, so hopefully he went to sleep pretty quickly after that. But he will start proceedings on another glorious morning on the Lancashire coast.
Yeah, I mean, look, we were all hoping for a fairy tale ending in the World Cup on Sunday, but it would be a fairy tale ending at Royal Birkdale, wouldn't it? If one Tommy Fleetwood could win his first major, in front of his home crowd, and it's not beyond the realms of possibility, is it, Rupert?
That is absolutely, could be on the agenda, and there's no two ways about it. Now, they played the Open here in 1998, and he came here as a sort of a 7-year-old, and he remembers being sort of captivated by meeting the golfing stars. Well, he's now in a position where he is now leaving his mark. Actually, I was playing golf at Formby Hall yesterday, and I had a 7-year-old playing behind me who was hitting the ball 220 yards off to Pinehurst, but he's part of the Tommy Fleetwood Academy. He is leaving a legacy for the game, and if he goes on and wins on Sunday night, then that would just be, well, I think a fairy tale for him in front of his at his home area, in his home area. And of course, it's so hard to get over the line, but at least he's played one already here, so that maybe he now knows what the weight of expectation is like on his shoulders. But I have to say, if he does actually come away and win it, that would be an amazing story, an amazing testament to how good a player he actually is. But if you think about it, Jeff, you've seen Lee Westwood hasn't won a major, but there are so many players who knocked on that major door but couldn't get over the line. And hopefully Tommy is not going to be in that category.
Yeah, completely agree, Rupert. Look, I mean, obviously, the market will favour Scheffler and Rory McIlroy. And I know people, talk about Matt Fitzpatrick and Bob McIntyre and so on. But 28 years ago, you mentioned 1998, there was a young amateur called Justin Rose who finished 4th in the Open at Royal Birkdale, and look where he is now. Nobody seems to be mentioning Justin Rose within their calculations.
Well, one of the problems is, I know he burst onto the scene and back then in 1998 as a 17-year-old holding out to finish 4th. Then, of course, he turns pro right after that and famously misses 21 cuts. But he's won a major, but he's now in his mid-40s, and it almost would be a full circle moment. But his Open record is not, if you think over the years, that sensational. But yes, it would be, again, an amazing achievement if he could win his second major. Look, he famously won at Merion, the US Open, but he was brilliant in the Ryder Cup last year. He still played really well in all 3 majors this year. This is what he gets out of bed for now in his mid-40s. But, the chances will be fewer and far between. But hopefully he will be in the stretch. I mean, the perfect scenario would be sort of Rose and Fleetwood playing in the final group on Sunday. But that may be entering the realms of fantasy come Sunday afternoon. But you never know. And I hope Justin is there or thereabouts, because you can bet your bottom dollar he will be roared on by this record crowds that they're expecting here this week.
Rupert, very much looking forward to it. Thanks very much.
Bye, Rupert.
No problem.
Open live on talkSPORT 2. Download the app to swipe between the 2 stations. Now, though, let's look back on that difficult night for England. Argentina's late double shattering their dreams of reaching their first World Cup final since 1966.
What do I say when it's all over?
It's a familiar story as the full-time whistle blows. No less painful for its repeated telling.
Sorry seems to be the hardest word.
No, I don't regret it. It doesn't help if you regret anything. You take the decision in the moment.
It's sad, so sad, with the sad situation.
You don't ever want to leave the field thinking, I should have done this, I should have done that. Why didn't I do that?
Oh, it seems to me the but sorry seems to be the hardest word.
So O'Reilly and Byrne for Rice and James.
All it done was draw the Argentinians onto us, who showed an aptitude over this World Cup to turn games round when it's going against them.
And let's face it, Argentina were the better side. 56 minutes after England scored until 90 plus 2, but Argentina went 2-1 up. It's a 36-minute period. England had 12% possession.
I could tell you, if it was still Gareth Southgate in charge, he'd get absolutely ruined.
Sorry seems to be the hardest word. It is for Thomas Tuchel. No regrets. He said, I wonder what Gareth Southgate was thinking watching that.
Probably thinking it's not as easy as you think, is it? As to being the manager, make those decisions. Honestly, Jeff, I'm just lost. I feel sorry for the whole country, the whole nation. You know, how many generations have been waiting for us to win a major honour? And, I mean, no one knows where you're going to be in 4 years' time. No one knows where you're going to be in 2 years' time, Jeff. And this was the one where I really thought we had a great chance. And we laugh about it's coming home and we get excited or whatever. But I honestly did think so this time, because they were there for the take in Argentina. We're out of the World Cup because of a manager's tactics, not because of players getting sent off or players' performances. That's all on one person. And all the best in the next game, because I think he gets booed on Saturday against France. Whoever England fans are there, I think he's going to get the biggest boo of the whole game.
And that is a game that just nobody needs.
Walking pace that could be.
Oh, my goodness. Let's head to the phone lines. Pete's a Coventry fan. Morning, Pete.
Morning, Pete.
How you doing, mate? You all right?
Doing all right, thanks, Pete. So, what are your thoughts this morning?
Oh, man, I'm absolutely furious. We're drawing. Attack him. Attack him. What is wrong with him?
He's let us down big time, isn't he?
Let us down. Let us down. Let the whole country down.
Yeah.
Pete, you're speaking for a lot of people.
Yeah.
We've got so many calls. Thank you very much, Pete. Will's a Chelsea fan. Morning, Will.
Morning, Will, mate.
Morning, guys.
Morning, mate.
Oh, man. I couldn't even sleep that well last night to call up some therapy for you guys because, I mean, I want to see if you can help me understand something, because we looked absolutely knackered as well. We've got to admit that. Like, we just weren't chasing the balls on the box. But when he subbed Gordon for Konza, I think that was around, I don't know, the 60th minute or something. To me, that was the start of a downfall. I was like, oh my goodness, he's just subbed a defender on for a goal scorer. And that, to me, was like such a statement to the team. And it just felt like we were so afraid. We could feel the final in front of us, all the fans, we haven't had it for 60 years. And we just got into this fear mode. We were tired. But to what extent, Gabby, maybe you can help me understand this. To what extent is that a player thing, like the players on the pitch feeling that fear and retreating? And to what extent...
It's not the players, mate. This is the manager. Okay. Because I agree, Gordon coming off. Listen, there's no problem going to a 5, okay, but what do? You have something that you can counter-attack on. You can't take Gordon off. If you go into that 5, someone else has to be sacrificed. Simple as that. You can still go to a 5 and still not defend the edge of your box. That's the problem. Why isn't Rashford on the pitch? Why didn't you bring Saka on? Kane done nothing all game, shattered. Bring Watkins on, who's going to run them ragged. Both centre-halves have been booked. Honestly, the tactics, if this was another manager, you'd be like, has he got experience in managing? This is Thomas Tuchel. He's won the Champions League with Chelsea. Experienced manager who's got a lot of changes during the tournament, right? Positive, half-time changes on the front foot. I don't know what happened, mate.
Yeah. Will, thank you very much indeed, mate.
Thank you, mate.
I mean, it wasn't just, bringing Gordon off. It wasn't just the message it sent to our players. It was the message it sent to the Argentinians. And Lionel Scaloni said afterwards, we smelt blood. Big Tig from Washington says, Gordon was the energy. We simply turned off the switch by taking him off. Still to come on breakfast.
Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. Spend £100 or more with a Travis Perkins trade account and you could win a brand new Ford Ranger. T's and C's apply.
Coming up, we will dissect the fallout with a massive lineup of guests. In half an hour, we'll be joined by former England winner Andros Townsend. Goalkeeper Jack Butland, of course, was in the England squad when they reached the semis in 2018. Plus, Sam Allardyce will join us to debate whether Thomas Tuchel got his substitutions completely wrong and cost us our ultimate dream. And that was our breakfast preview with Travis Perkins.
Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. Spend £100 or more at any Travis Perkins Hire or Benchmarks branch as a trade account holder, and you could win a brand new Ford Ranger. T's and C's apply.
I was convinced by the hype train of France and Spain, as you've said, sorry to steal it from you, have suffocated them for 9 minutes.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. And look, I don't think you need to. I don't think that you need to either apologise or acknowledge that you got it wrong. I am the very definition of a broken clock being right twice a day. I thought Spain were going to win. I know how brilliant they are, and it's that control that they put into a game. It's that control. They don't let you breathe. They don't allow you any sort of momentum, and you can't get the ball off them. Like, if you think about England, like, the reason why I was so convinced Spain were going to win is because I was looking at this final and I was looking at it perhaps prematurely through the lens of who I want England to play.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at it, I'm thinking, who are England more likely to beat? And I was convinced that we're more likely to beat France. I'd kind of concede that we'd be underdogs against Spain or France. But I think our game would be more suited to beating France.
See, I disagree. I'd have rather played Spain, and maybe I've been hoodwinked by the fact that they drew against Cape Verde in the opening game, that they had Saudi Arabia, they're obviously going to beat them. They beat 10-man Uruguay 1-0. Uruguay stunk the place out. Marcelo Bielsa's destroyed and ruined his legacy.
Do you not just go back immediately to what happened in Berlin? When they were just too good for us.
Because I look at it and I think, this is the FA. I bet the FA are rubbing their hands at the prospect of potentially, we're not jinxing it, potentially playing Spain in a final, because it would vindicate their decision to hire Thomas Tuchel. There was lots of controversy about having a German in the seat, and I think he's got what it takes. He's got what Southgate didn't. Southgate's done amazing things. I believe we're standing on the shoulders of a giant in Southgate, what he did for England. But I think Tuchel's got the tactical nous and that edge and that aggression and that fight to get one over someone like Spain, whereas I thought France were going to be too much. But maybe I'm wrong.
Hello, I'm Matt Forden from talkSPORT. This is How to Win the World Cup.
This is the best squad I think England have ever had.
He used to love America, now he doesn't. It's very sad.
It was so important to succeed because of all the pressure we received.
Don't jump for this one, I'm going to knock his head off.
Warning, this podcast does not guarantee England will actually win anything.
Dry your eyes, mate. I know it's hard to take, but her mind has been made up.
Hey, very good morning to you. This is World Cup Breakfast. Me, Jeff Stelling and Gabby Agbonlahor. Very briefly, Jason in Wales says, you won't read this. Well, I will, Jason. He's made 4 points. 1, the best team won. Agree. 2, England have been riding the luck all tournament. Agree. 3, Bellingham was non-existent in the second half. Agree, but he wasn't the only one. And 4, psychologically, England know they can't win a tournament.
Not lie.
I think increasingly that's becoming the case.
100%. Something in their mind. Oh, we've gone 1-0 up. But Jeff, it still comes from the manager.
Yeah.
It's hard to say that about the players because the players were there. They were fighting. The dark arts Argentina started. We were dealing with it. The manager, something in him says, let's revert back to what we did against Mexico. We'll play Mexico, they're not Argentina, and we had 10 men. Total different scenarios, Thomas.
Yeah. Jason, thanks very much for that text. Let's have a word with another Jason. This is who's given us a call. He's a Chelsea fan. Morning, Jason.
Good morning. You okay?
Yes, thanks, mate. Yeah, okay, as okay as you can be. Anyway, what about you? What did you make of it?
Well, firstly, I agree with what's being said about the tactics, getting the tactics wrong. I think that was obvious. There's a couple of things where I just think we've sort of started to pile in on Tuchel. Yes, he got it wrong, but where it's like, oh, he's got to go. One of my things would be, if he goes, who are we going to get? Who's the manager that's going to come in? There's nobody a standout. And when we're saying about, oh, we've got the mentality that we're not going to win, well, we're taking different players to the tournaments each time. I know we have a core of players, but so the people that are saying, oh, we don't, we have this mentality that we're not going to win. So is that every English player that ever turns up to play for England has that mentality that they're not going to win? Because I don't agree with that.
So Jason, can I ask you something, mate? Thomas Tuchel, £8 million a year, brought in German manager, foreign manager to win us a World Cup or Euros, and that tactical performance from him, you're happy for him to take us into the Euros, yeah?
Don't get me wrong, I'm not happy with the tactical performance yesterday, but I rate him as a manager. And I would be happy going forward with him because I'd like to think that we would learn from our mistakes.
He said he's got no regrets, by the way, after the game.
Yeah, but that's straight after the game, though, Gabby. Look at some of the things that are said straight after the game in hindsight. He might regret that comment going forward. But my point being is, as well, yes, we've made mistakes. We've all made mistakes. Yes, we shouldn't have made certain substitutions that we did. And we keep on going, oh, why didn't we hold on to the ball and keep on going like Spain did against France? Well, that's quite simple. We're not as good as Spain. We could have done better, but we can't do to like what Spain do. They hold on to the ball so well. That's the way that they play the game. We don't play the game that way. So I'd love for us to be able to see out a game like that and just hold on to the ball and drain the life out of the opposition. But we don't do that because we can't do that. We don't have the players to do that.
Jason, great call. Thank you very much indeed, mate. One more quick call. Andy's a Villa fan. Morning, Andy.
Morning, Andy.
How are you? All right? It's a bad morning.
How are you, mate?
Bad morning. I'm gutted, mate. Gutted. I mean, I watched last night. As soon as he put Concert on, I thought, Southgate all over again. We've gone backwards, right? £8 million a year, and he's gone backwards, right? Why didn't he swap Gordon for Rashford, Rodgers for Saka, and put Watkins down the middle off for Kane? Because Kane looked tired. He was far too deep, and we got no one to drag us forward whatsoever. There was no one. They're two centre-halves, like Gabby said. That was on yellow cards. I think Gabby turned around and said yesterday, why are we not pummeling the left and right backs? They're no good at defending. I'm good at coming forward.
Yeah.
But they're right and left backs. They're not that great at defending. Attack them.
Yeah.
What are we doing? Why the hell have we not gone down the throat of Argentina to take that game, which was for the taking? It was for the taking. They was worried with the dark arts, like it was said by Tim Vickery. They was worried. That's why they were stopping the game. Every couple of minutes, fell here, fell there. They panicked about England. And what do? Bring on 65 defenders. Unbelievable.
Spot on, mate. Spot on.
Andy, thank you so much.
Top man, Andy.
Right, time to look at the back pages with Costa Express.
The Costa Coffee Break on talkSPORT. Sponsored by Costa Express. Freshly ground Costa coffee for a quality day.
Another Jason in North Wales, lots of them around, woke up embarrassed to be English. We played our arch rivals and had no fight. I'd have been happy to go down on my shield, not cowering under it. Lorica Francis.
Morning, Lorica Francis.
Morning, Laura.
Good morning. Unfortunately, that's a sentiment that is probably reflected across a lot of back pages today. There's two words that are being used, agony and heartbreak. The Daily Star agony, the hurt goes on, the World Cup's dreams is shattered. The Daily Mail on the front and back, the night our dream finally died. Oliver Holt says, we were 5 minutes from a shot at glory, then burgled by Argentina's arch villain. Both the Telegraph and the Express have said end of the world. It certainly feels like that today, doesn't it? Jeff, the Times have gone with same old story. Where does this particular heartbreak rank for you of all the kind of England narratives we've seen? We're not strangers to feeling like this, but where does this rank for you in terms of how it happened and how you're feeling this morning?
Well, it is one of the greatest disappointments, and completely disagree with Ollie Holt, by the way, saying England were burgled. It made it sound like it was a smash and grab when Argentina were far the better side in the
we left our house open, I think. Left the front door open.
Put all the lights on, put our
Come on in.
out on.
Yeah. Here's the
Come on
jewellery.
in.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Where does it rank? Well, I think when you look at the squad, it's such a good squad. In theory, we had such a dream run through to the final, in terms of our group out there, and then the sides we played since then, DR Congo and Mexico and Norway. None of them are great footballing sides. So opportunity was knocking big time. I'm not sure it quite compares with Italia 90, when we're in the semis and we lose a penalty shootout against Germany, but it's thereabouts. I think that the big thing is everyone will see this as an opportunity absolutely thrown away.
Yeah, and I think some of the heartbreak, Gabby, is to do with the inevitability of what happened at the end. When you were watching and you were at Villa Park, weren't you? Was there a sense, especially after the equaliser went in, that this is game over, they are going to 100%. Score another one? Could you see it coming?
I said it straight away to my friends watching the game. I said it's over because of the players we got on the pitch. That was a war out there. And our leader in that battle there last night hung our men out to dry. That's like tactics in a war on that pitch. You've seen the fouls, you've seen Bellingham getting it, trying to wind each other up. And our leader bottled it like a coward and wanted to sit back and defend. It was embarrassing. The best form of defence is attack. It's the same old saying. Argentinian centre-halves booked. Get after them. Kane can't move. Get Watkins to rat around. Fresh as a daisy to run in behind. Rashford's fresh. Bring Saka on or whatever. This is down to Thomas Tuchel and the same old FA. We're going to back him. Okay, but the English fans won't be backing him, I'll tell you that.
And it wasn't, it wasn't just us, the fans, who could see what was happening, because, it's 1-1 and we're going into added time, and John Stones has gone down holding his head in the penalty area and stayed down when, he's barely being touched. And basically England at that stage are thinking, let's get to extra time. Let's get to extra. I think that was the mentality out on the pitch. When you've got that mentality, you will lose.
It's on the manager, because Argentina didn't have Peter Crouch times 12 in the box ready for crosses. Why are we defending everybody, our centre midfielders? Before the second goal, McAllister turns on the edge of the box, shoots, hits the post, because we're all so deep. For the second goal, how can Lautaro Martinez be on his own? Dan Burns in the near post space. He should be in the centre of the goal. Stones and Konsa and Gahey not picking anyone up. The tactics were embarrassing. We're crying out for Argentina to come on us. And when you've got quality like Rodri de Paul from crosses, you've got quality like Lionel Messi, the best player to ever play the game, how can you give them that much time? Doesn't matter how many bodies you got in the box. If you time your runs like Argentina were, the smallest players are winning headers. McAllister.
Jeff, you tipped Argentina to win. From what you've seen,
not last night. I mean,
to win the whole thing. To win the whole thing.
I tipped them to win the whole thing.
Yes, let's be absolutely clear.
Yeah, before the competition started, because I thought they were a big price at 10-1, and what they showed last night is they have that winning mentality. The winning mentality that we, unfortunately, do not have. Just a quick word. George in Chesterfield says, the last caller asked about who we could replace Thomas Tuchel with if we want an elite coach. I've heard a certain Pep Guardiola is out of work. The FA should move heaven and earth to get him. Now, I would suggest that Pep Guardiola is an elite coach, and Thomas Tuchel has shown us he is not an elite
Time's
coach.
not on our hands. So we don't know what tomorrow holds for anybody.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, you can't just say, we're back in for the next tournament. No, he's proved he can't do it. Get him out.
Laura, thank you so much. And that was thanks to Costa Express. Coming up, we're joined live by Andros Townsend, who's defended Thomas Tuchel in the past. Will he defend him this morning? We'll find out next.
Not.
The Costa Coffee Break on talkSPORT. Sponsored by Costa Express. Freshly ground Costa coffee for a quality day.
Wow. Performance of the tournament. France absolutely didn't do anything.
Out with a
Had a
whimper.
nightmare performance. Yeah, whimper without no fight. But Spain, wow. That was watching Pep Guardiola's Barcelona, that was. The way they were popping that ball past France to death. France couldn't handle the passing style of Spain. They weren't pressing as a team. You saw a team there in Spain, and you saw France with superstars that all had a nightmare of a game. And very poor performance from France. I'm sure they're going to be getting a lot of stick. Luckily, we got Emmanuel Petit on at the end of the show, and he's going to be thinking to himself, didn't see that coming.
I couldn't stop thinking about Manu last night.
Yeah,
when I thought, oh my! Even the show yesterday, I felt that we had such a build-up in favour of France. Have we completely underestimated Spain?
We've underestimated them, but rightly so in the sense of their performances in this tournament. You know, they haven't performed to the level they did last night. Sometimes we talk at start of tournaments that it's not about how you start a tournament, it's how you end them. And Spain have proved that. Drawing 0-0 to Cape Verde, and some of their performances haven't been exciting. Even the win over Portugal wasn't their greatest performance.
Yeah.
But they've kept their best form for the semi-finals, so it's going to be a scary final, whoever plays Spain. Because the way Rodri and Fabian Ruiz controlled that game, Cucurella looked like the best left-back in the world last night. The way he kept Elise quiet, that was a shadow of Elise we've seen this whole tournament. Dembele, Mbappe, Barcola, Doué, they had nothing for an organised Spanish side.
Really, I was in shock.
Yeah.
You know, I think a lot of us just couldn't believe what and we shouldn't be because it's Spain. They're the
This might be the most iconic image in English sporting history, the moment Bobby Moore lifted the World Cup. It meant the flag of St George could forever be draped on the Jules Rimet, and Moore would be a hero always, despite the twists and turns of his eventful World Cup career. Bobby Moore went to the World Cup in 1962, but didn't play a single game. A year later, though, he was made England captain, leading the side as they built up to 66. But Moore might never have played in the tournament. He was in a contract dispute with West Ham and was technically a free agent. And an FA rule meant free agents were ineligible to play for England. Sir Ralph Ramsey stepped in and forced West Ham and Moore to sign a deal. Phew. Then, when the final came around, Moore might not have played in that either. According to Sir Geoff Hurst's autobiography, he overheard Sir Ralph discussing the idea of dropping Moore in favour of Norman Hunter to help deal with the German attack. But he stuck with Moore and didn't live to regret it. 4 years later, Moore was shrouded in controversy. On a pre-tournament team trip to Colombia, he was arrested, accused of stealing a bracelet from a gift shop, and placed under house arrest for 4 days. Perhaps the most famous match of that tournament was England's group game against Brazil, in which he made what's still described as the perfect tackle. It's so beautiful. After the game, another iconic image. The quarter-final defeat to West Germany would be his last World Cup match. England failed to qualify in '74 and Moore stepped away, leaving the most incredible legacy. He was made an inaugural inductee to the English Football Hall of Fame in 2002, and in 2007 this statue was unveiled of Moore outside the new Wembley Stadium. It was described as the finishing touch.
Morning, 6 minutes past 7, Thursday, July the 16th. This is World Cup Breakfast. I'm Jeff Stelling. Gabby Agbonlahor is alongside me, and I've got a text that says, "This is a great listen in Edinburgh, guys. Superb radio." I bet you're all absolutely loving it north of the border. We're here with Arnold Clark, of course. Perfect time to upgrade your car. Get 2 years free servicing when you buy a used car in the upgrade event. Check it out online. Thomas Tuchel's response to taking the lead against Argentina was to replace Anthony Gordon with Ezri Konsa, before later bringing on Dan Burn for Reece James and Nico O'Reilly for Declan Rice. Tuchel was asked by Faye Carruthers whether going to 5 at the back, at least 5, sent out the wrong message.
Yeah, if you say it like this, it's a beautiful thing to simplify.
I'm not a football coach though, so I'm simplifying it from a
and this is okay. You can do that, and I took the decision. I take the responsibility, but I will not now go to a hypothetical approach, because no one knows what would have happened if I put 3 strikers on. So if I put 3 strikers on and we lose the match, you will ask me the same question if I sent the wrong message. So I try to help the team. That's my job. I cannot care about what other people in the end think about it. It's about I take responsibility for this. It's part of the job. It's no problem.
3 strikers. What's he talking about? No one told you what 3 strikers on. Great questions from Faye as well.
Yeah.
I get it, it's after the game, but he's talking a load of nonsense there.
Yeah, and it is, straight after the game, it can be difficult. And by the way, talkSPORT understands, well, Mark Bullingham said the FA have got no plans to sack Thomas Tuchel off the back. And again, that's a soundbite immediately after the match. They will sit down and talk about it, when everybody's back at home. And by the way, England's next game after the World Cup is a Nations League game at home to Spain. Now, if we lose that, again, Thomas Tuchel might say, "I want to stay. I'm taking this into into the next Euros," but he may not be allowed to.
It's all good saying that from the FA, but wait till you get a game at Wembley.
Yeah,
let's see what you say after that.
Yeah,
when the negativity and the no belief and the boos will be, you know what we're like. We're that disappointed now. Like they're not going to forgive Thomas Tuchel.
Yeah,
no way.
But again, it's the same. It's straight after the match. Mark Bullingham's not going to say that was dreadful, we want him out now, is he? He's simply going to say, of course the coach has got our support. Look, let's get the views of the former England winger Andros Townsend. Morning, Andros.
Morning, Andros.
Good morning. How are we?
Yeah, we're okay considering, Andros. Look, I know you've been a big Thomas Tuchel supporter over, the last umpteen months and the such like. How do you feel about him today?
To be honest, I disagree with 95% of all the stuff I've heard post-match.
Right.
I think what happened with England was the state of the game and the way the game went, not the way the manager set them out. Because England scored in the 55th minute and Argentina kicked off. England pressed really high against Argentina straight from the kickoff, which says to me the message from the bench was, go again, go again. They kicked the ball out for a throw-in. Argentina got it again. England pressed high. They won it. They had an attack. Harry Kane miscontrols it on the edge of Argentina's box. Argentina then counter. England wanting to be positive and wanting to press. They press too many men forward. And I don't know if you remember, Simeone gets down on the right hand side and Jed Spence makes a last ditch tackle to knock it out for a corner. So immediately after you do that, you go positive and you almost concede. In your mind as a player now, you're thinking, we can't let that happen again. We're 1-0 up, half an hour away from a World Cup final. We have to be a bit more smart, a bit more defensive. And I think those 5 minutes after England scored, what Argentina did really changed the course of the game rather than anything Thomas Tuchel did.
I've got to disagree, Andros. I mean, like, I hear those points you're saying, but like, when your first change is concert on for Gordon and go to a back five, Gordon's our only outlet, by the way. Morgan Rogers is shattered. He's our only quick player who can get us up the pitch. To leave our team without anybody who can get out and try and defend for over 30 minutes, you can't do that, mate. You can't. You know how much possession we had, Andros, in the last 25 minutes? 7.5% possession in the last 25 minutes.
And do you know how much they had from the Gordon goal until when Gordon came off?
I don't know.
Yeah, 12.
Yeah, because for me, I've watched the second half twice since the game finished. It's been trauma, but I wanted to make sure I spoke with sense. After England scored, Gordon, I don't think he had many touches because he was having to chase Argentina back the other way. Argentina made changes. They went to a 3-1-6 in the 65th minute. They brought on Nico Gonzalez. They went 3-1-6. Thomas Tuchel tried to stay brave as long as he could. Defending in a 4-4-2 against a 3-1-6 is quite stupid. But he left that 11 out until the hydration break when he thought, right, I can't leave it any longer. I'm going to have to make a change. I'm going to have to be a bit more defensive, 5-3-2. So I think he gave that unit as long as possible to try and get themselves back into the game. But 20 minutes after the goal, England, they had probably 1 or 2 attacks. They couldn't get themselves into the game. So the manager had to make a change to try and contain.
So if you're not pointing the finger at Thomas Tuchel, then are you pointing the finger at the players?
I'm not pointing the finger at the players. Yeah, I think Argentina, they won that game in the first 5 minutes after the goal, because 5 minutes after that moment I spoke about where they're looking to press and almost conceding, England play out from the back, Jordan Pickford, a ball goes to Jed Spence, it gets cut out, and then Argentina win the ball high up the pitch. Messi tries to get a shot away in the box. So imagine you haven't won a World Cup in 60 years. You're 30 minutes away from a World Cup final. You don't want to be the man to be the scapegoat if you make a mistake. It's natural for a player to think, okay, we're going to be defensive first because I'm not going to be that man that makes a mistake. And I think that sort of honest way of thinking cost them the game. But
Andros, the problem I've got, Andros, what you're saying is that like you go to a 5 at the back, even before the 5 at the back, right? Every cross that went in, we didn't win a header. If you're going to go to 5 at the back, you have to win the headers. You can't be so
that's
deep.
That's not Thomas Tuchel's fault.
Yeah,
that's not Thomas Tuchel's fault. They didn't win a header.
Yeah, but Thomas Tuchel, you invite pressure. In the first half, Messi didn't have a sniff. Anderson was on him. Spence was on him. Second half, he stood on the right-hand side on his own. Rodri de Paul on his own. You can't defend for 30 minutes like that. You've got no get-out ball, so you win the ball, you look up, and you've got no one to get you out. You don't agree that Rashford should have come on, or Saka, or Watkins?
No, I think Nico O'Reilly was the right change. Listen, Gabby, I've covered Argentina twice in this World Cup. I've watched every single game of them, and every game, Messi starts high, he tries to get the ball in the pockets. As the game goes on, he drops deeper and deeper and deeper. You saw the positions he was picking up in the second half. It was like a centre midfield position on the right. That's what he likes to do. So Thomas Tuchel getting Nico O'Reilly on to defend Messi in a higher position, in a left wing position, is a smarter choice with 15 minutes to go than getting a Rashford to mark Lionel Messi. It doesn't make sense. There was no outball. We had no outball. We tried. We had Morgan Rogers. We had Harry Kane and Bellingham trying to press high. It was not working, Gabby. I promise you, I've watched it twice after the final whistle. It wasn't working. I covered Argentina. Switzerland made that same mistake.
Andros, got to stop you there. We've got 4 years to talk about this. Thanks very much indeed, mate.
Pleasure.
Just very briefly, Jason's an awesome. A lot of Jasons. Everyone's Jason this morning. So let's get it right. England are never going to win the World Cup because we're not built the same way as other countries. Argentina are mentality monsters. Before they scored, they were like a dog with a bone. As soon as it went 2-1, they committed tactical fouls, broke up play, got yellows, wound us up, and saw it out. Coming up, we'll keep taking your calls. Do you agree with Andros? Tuchel didn't get it wrong. 03717223344 is the number to call. We'll also bring you more on the Open getting underway. It's live on talkSPORT 2.
Couldn't get anywhere near Spain, could they, in the midfield? Do you think that the manager should have made a change at half-time? Maybe Digne come off for Hernandez, and also maybe an extra midfielder come on for an attacker?
Well, the fact that Rabiot left at the half-time because he received straight away, yellow card. He was probably our best player on the pitch for the first 45 minutes. But anyway, you could have changed the entire team, against Spain in the half-time. It would have changed nothing. So I think we looked so nervous, so far away from our level. Tactically and technically, we were so poor. Credit to Spain. They really deserve to win. They play really well. I thought that we were different with what happened, 4 years ago. But it was kind of the same game. And they control everything. We had no inspiration, no creativity, no personality. And it was so sad to watch them because I had the feeling watching the game that it was kind of the same game against Morocco, but...
You know what was baffling me, Emmanuel, was whenever you won the ball back, just give the ball away cheaply. Everybody was. No shots on target.
We were so far away from each other, Yeah. So, I think tactically we lost the game, but technically as well, we were so poor, But we looked so nervous. So I still don't understand what happened yesterday. There's so many things that we're missing in that game. And that's why I think we should get over it and still work on it. And but Spain are still our worst enemy, actually. And it was a lesson of football yesterday, to be honest with you.
Hello, I'm Matt Forden from talkSPORT. This is How to Win the World Cup.
This is the best squad I think England have ever had.
He used to love America, now he doesn't. It's very sad.
It was so important to succeed because of all the pressure we received.
Don't jump for this one, I'm going to knock his head off.
Warning, this podcast does not guarantee England will actually win anything.
The Open Championship update on talkSPORT with Arnold Clark. Choose from over 20,000 used cars online and score your dream car today.
7:20, this is World Cup Breakfast with me, Jeff Stelling Gabby Agbonlahor. Yes, the Open getting underway at Royal Birkdale. Scotland's Bob McIntyre is on the tee. Let's cross over to talkSPORT 2 to hear the latest action.
Mac swishes through it looks a little bit anxious, but then goes to pick up his tee. Should be down the left-hand side. It's carried the bunker, and it's down the left in the second cut, but that'll open up a right pin. No problems there for Bob.
On the tee from the USA, Ricky Fowler.
Ricky Fowler has had his share of success at the Open. Back in 14, he was second. That was Royal Liverpool, of course, the win that year by Rory McIlroy, ever the popular player. Hopefully this doesn't come as a shock, but Ricky Fowler is now 37 years old. The father, cream-colored jumper on today and pants of a similar hue, white cap. Fowler steps into this one, and he starts his 2026 Open. This one starting down the right side. Pleased with it, quickly picks up his tee, hits it dead center in the fairway. Will it hold? A test of what might is to come, and this one releases to about 18 inches from the side of the rough, still in the fairway.
On the tee from England, Alex Fitzpatrick.
All right, Alex Fitzpatrick. Sophie, what a story for this 27-year-old.
What a story indeed. The man from Sheffield, the brother of Matt Fitzpatrick. Since winning the Zurich Open, that pairs competition, he has pocketed $4.5 million on the PGA Tour, and now has a chance of winning the Open. That's how far he has risen in the game. As the Birkdale clock stares down at 7:20. Fitzy take no time at all. Quick swish of the wood, and he smashed it. It's the longest drive out of them all. It sails over the dogleg into the middle of the fairway, and he'll be able to chip it on from there. That's a good 300-yard drive from Alex Fitzpatrick.
Scotland's McIntyre off the tee. So too for the USA's Ricky Fowler. Alex Fitzpatrick, the pride of England, is perfectly situated, as Sophie just described, down the right side of the fairway. We will have approach shots coming up, Marcus, as we're underway.
Brilliant stuff, and off they go. Yeah, Bob McIntyre, actually a genuine contender, by the way, as well, you would have to say, in that should be well suited by a links course. We shall see. Don't forget, action from the Open live on talkSPORT 2 right now. Just download the app to swipe between stations. A lot of response. A lot of response to Andros Townsend as well. Al, the West Brom fan, says, I 100% agree with Andros Townsend. The hydration break helped Argentina in the second half. They changed formation and changed the course of the game as well. Mike, who's a Palace fan, says, as a former Crystal Palace player, and this is from Crystal Palace fan, Andros should be embarrassed by saying it wasn't 100% Tuchel's fault. So Andros Townsend very much dividing the audience. Let's go back to the phone lines now. We're electing, of course, all morning of that England loss.
Yeah.
Steve's a Liverpool fan. Morning, Steve.
Morning, Steve,
Morning,
mate.
guys. Great show.
Steve, am I going crazy, or is Andros right, or are we right? I'm confused here. I don't know what game I watched.
No, I think you guys have got that one. I think, not quite sure where he's coming from with that perspective. But, I watched the game last night and was so disappointed with what I saw. I would really just love to see an England manager come in that really backs the team and believes he's got a World Cup winning squad. Because honestly, watching that tournament with the talent at their disposal, 800-900 million quid's worth of players, I know that they've got to come in and take each day as it or game as it comes. But you've just got to back the team and believe you've got the ability to go and win the World Cup and do it with your tactics. And somehow we always get ourselves into a great position, and suddenly we decide that we want to play like a Sunday League team playing a World Cup finalist. It's just really, really disappointing to see.
I've seen a couple of texts in England appointed the wrong German coach, and that Jurgen Klopp should have been that man. Well, look. It's history now. So you blame Tuchel completely in that case, do you, Steve?
Yeah, look, I'm not in it for the blame game. I think he obviously went out there and did the best of with what he thought was right. But it's just, I mean, I'm a Liverpool fan and I've been blessed to watch, Klopp with that Liverpool team for 7-8 years. And, you just can't underestimate that when your manager's in your corner and he believes you're the best team on the pitch, then it just, bleeds through to the rest of the squad. And I think you absolutely just need to go and find somebody that really recognises you've got Harry Kane on the pitch, you've got Bellingham on the pitch. We see these players like De Paul come on last night, and Tagliafico. These guys, we make them look like absolute world beaters, but I'm sorry, they're not getting into the top 3 or 4 in any of the Premier League teams.
Steve, thank you very much indeed. Just a couple of quick texts, actually. Morning, lads. After Gordon's goal, it was the players that decided to go low block, not Tuchel. Tuchel tried to boast of that. Well, if it was the players and Tuchel didn't want that, then surely he should have been the man to get the message out to change it. And the message is not sending on Ezri Konsa and sending on Dan Burn and sending on Nico O'Reilly. That doesn't get the message out there that he doesn't want them to play the low block.
What Andros is talking about, because I wrote it down during the game on my notes, there's a 57th minute where Jed Spence makes that incredible tackle. They get through Simeone. So what? That happens in football. That doesn't mean that you retreat. You go 5 at the back. You bring on 3 defenders, and you don't have any attacking players who can get us up the pitch. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, how many times did we see Thomas Tuchel in that second half screaming at the players to get up the pitch? I didn't see that.
Yeah.
Those players retreated because the manager told them to. Harry Kane after the game retreated too much after the goal. This is on Thomas Tuchel. Simple as that. I don't know if Andros is after a job. I don't know what he's after, or the raw meat or the eggs are affecting him, but he's talking crap. I like Andros, but let's just be honest here. He's talking nonsense. Say it as it is. I'm not sitting on the fence anymore.
Thank you, Gab. Andy makes an interesting point. He says, morning, lads. He said, if Thomas Tuchel put his hands up and admitted he got it wrong and apologised, most of the country would find it easier to accept the bad decision. However, the fact he can't see it, or doesn't want to see it, means he has to go.
There for the taking. 2 centre-halves booked.
Yeah.
Get someone in and around them. Harry Kane can't move. Get Watkins to run in behind the channels.
Let's have a word with George, who's an Ipswich Town fan. Morning, George.
Morning, George.
Morning, lads. How are we feeling?
I don't know, mate, to be honest. I feel like
we're sort of feeling okay. We're feeling okay. How are you feeling, George?
I'm not okay, Jeff.
You're never okay, Gabby.
Same, Gabby. It's been totally honest. It was tough. I just a bit of a therapy session, really. I just think whenever you bring on defensive subs like Tuchel did, it just shifts the entire mindset of the team. It just almost makes players believe that they've then got to really work back and just sit deep. So if Southgate had done what Tuchel did, we'd be absolutely slating him.
Yeah,
same energy. It's got to be.
Although, in fairness, we are absolutely slating Tuchel as well, so there's not much difference.
Yeah. No, you're right, Jeff. You're right. We are. But I just feel that it's almost a case of with Southgate, he was sort of managing sort of at his capability level, whereas Tuchel, I don't know what happened.
George, what have Argentina not got in their back line? Pace. If you're going to go to that 5 and you're going to sit back, counter-attack football, pace kills. There's a saying, pace kills. I knew that was all I had. Pace kills. Rashford, Watkins, get them on the pitch, counter-attack, and then they maybe say, okay, we're putting too many players forward here. Okay, you know what? A couple of midfielders come back a bit. They've got some pace here. They know Harry Kane can't run. Jude Bellingham was shattered.
Absolutely.
Morgan Rogers was shattered. There's no threat, so they could push up.
We had no legs. Absolutely, we had no legs. And like I say, both their centre-halves were on a yellow card as well. So the pace would have been even more terrifying in that regard.
Rocket science.
George, thank you very much indeed for the call. I think somebody else we should be asking questions about is the FA and saying, why on earth do you give a 2-year contract out to a coach before a tournament?
They are clueless, aren't they? Let's be honest.
George, thanks very much. Good luck with Ipswich next season.
Luck, mate.
Here's a text from Rob on the M6. He said, there's a reality. England are 4th ranked in the world. And actually, we are the 4th best team in the world. If you put that in the Premier League context, Villa are probably the 4th best team in England. Do expect them to win the Premier League. No, Rob, we don't expect them to win the Premier League. This is a cup competition, a knockout competition. So we could expect Aston Villa to win the FA Cup, especially if they have a draw as dreamy as England's draw to get to this stage was. You can't
same old story.
Yeah.
Once we get someone that's a decent team, we crumble. But this isn't down to the players. This is the manager's tactics only.
Yeah. A lot of people are texting in about the absence of Kobbie Mainoo at any stage.
Very old.
As well. Paul in Bibbury said, what I'd like to know is when we play France on Saturday, is Tuchel going to rely on Kobbie Mainoo in that? If he is, what should Kobbie's response be?
I hope he plays 5 at the back. I hope he does it again. Don't change now, Thomas. Yeah. It's too late. Play 6 defenders again.
Kobbie Mainoo, who has not had a kick in the entire tournament. I'm not absolutely his biggest fan, but there's certainly been occasions when he could have been used
Jeff,
effectively.
They're on their feet last night.
Yeah.
Bellingham, Rodgers, Kane, shattered. And you've got so many changes you could have made and you didn't go again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You got it wrong. They've scored or whatever. Making some more changes. That's what the best coaches do. Get Rashford on the pitch.
Coming up, we'll hear from some of the England team after last night and what went so badly wrong in the second half. That's next.
Mick McCarthy joined Simon and Piers, decided to take Piers Morgan on regarding an incident way back in 2009 when, as Wolves manager, he rested a number of players for a trip to Old Trafford.
I've always respected you hugely, genuinely, as a manager.
Except when I dropped 10 players at Wolverhampton.
Yeah, well, that was terrible.
You did say something that I was particularly unhappy about.
I thought it was shocking.
Yeah.
Yeah, hang on. What was your problem with what I said? You must have known I was right.
You're never right, mate. you just antagonise people with your comments, which you're doing on this show quite clearly. No. So when you said it, my job is to win games.
Yes.
We went to Spurs the Saturday before. We won 1-0 with about 35% possession. We've got Manchester United on the Tuesday. I went there and I dropped 10 players. I have a squad of 22. If I'm a manager, it's my right to manage that team how I see and get results.
And it's my right as an Arsenal fan who you were directly impacting with your cowardice
because you weren't good enough because you weren't good enough to win the title, and Sir Alex won it again and he won it. You weren't good enough, so you blame me, which is real bad on my part.
I know what Roy Keane's problem was.
No,
just to be clear, by dropping 10 players, you let United walk all over you, which had a direct impact on my team's chances of winning the league. I thought that was an appalling abrogation of your duty as a manager to entertain the fans with the best available team.
Clear you up. My duty was to beat Burnley on the Saturday, and we did.
Well, Mick hasn't forgotten, has he? That's for sure.
Oh, no, he went further than that. He said that Piers was a purveyor of the wrist action.
Bobby Moore, leading England at the 1970 World Cup. But did you know, 2 weeks before this photo was taken, Moore was under arrest in Colombia. So England were doing some altitude training in South America. Moore and Bobby Charlton went to a gift shop in their hotel looking for a present for Charlton's wife, and they left when they found nothing of interest. But as they were standing in the hotel foyer, the shop assistant came out and accused Moore of stealing a gold bracelet. He denied wrongdoing and was let go. England jetted off for a quick friendly match, but returned to the same hotel a few days later. And there, Moore was detained and placed under house arrest. Thinking he'd be without his captain for some time, Sir Alf Ramsey and the rest of the England squad left for Mexico. Back in Colombia, Moore was summoned before a judge. This is him, with the solicitors outside the court. The case saw him have to reenact the moment numerous times and face hours of questioning. By this point, the British Prime Minister Harold Wilson had got involved, and after several days, Moore was released. He got straight on a flight to Mexico City and arrived just in time for tea. The saga was...
Selling himself this morning, isn't it?
What's he trying to do to us?
Music.
Want me crying on air?
Yeah, music to make you weep. It's a great song, though, isn't it? R.E.M.
I'm just saying, Jeff, we've got more listeners from Scotland than we have from England.
They're loving it in Scotland and in Wales.
Yeah, they're having a barbecue today.
It's party time, of course it is.
Well,
this is World Cup Breakfast with me, Jeff Stelling Gabby Agbonlahor, Arnold Clark, of course. Browse the UK's best used car deals. Score your dream car today. Check out their website for more details. If you're texting us, love your texts. There's thousands and thousands of them. Put your name on it if you possibly can, please. Just quickly, this is an anonymous one. England need to stop hiding behind excuses. Too many of the big names went missing. We built Jude Bellingham and Harry Kane up into world beaters after dominating average opposition. That's the difference between elite players and genuinely world-class footballers like Messi or Rodri. They don't just perform when everything's going their way. They take control when their team is under pressure. They demand the ball, dictate the tempo, and find a way of influencing the outcome. Is he right, Gabby?
No. So what should Jude Bellingham do when he receives the ball? And how many times do you try and run with the ball and there are 4 Argentinian players on him straight away? Come on. I agree with, like, it's a mentality thing maybe for some of the players, but Jude Bellingham had a tournament of his life. He kept his head at the right times. They were trying to wind him up from the first minute, kept his head, done everything right. The manager's tactics killed us. No get-out ball.
But Bellingham's had a brilliant tournament. He wasn't brilliant last night. Not pretend he was not brilliant last night.
What could he do?
I don't know, but Messi, when Messi lost the ball umpteen times, he kept going back, kept trying again. So if Bellingham's making runs forward and he's dispossessed 2, 3, 4 times, he's got to keep doing it.
But that's what he did. But then, Jeff, how can you do that all game? And there's a difference between when you've got the ball and you're attacking to when you're defending, it's draining. I've been there in games and you played against a great Man City sides. You defend. When you're chasing shadows, it makes you a lot more tired than when you've got the ball and you're trying to do things.
Yeah.
Bellingham's receiving the ball, there's no one around him. He's been our star player. And no one can ever question anything.
We will talk about it later. Well, you can always question what
I don't think you can, mate.
Always question
not with what Bellingham's done.
He's had a great tournament. I'm not getting away from it. Jordan Pickford's had a fantastic tournament as well. Jed Spence was great last night.
Yesterday at all. Bellingham done everything, kept his head.
But it's what the text is saying there, though. That's when you need your world-class players.
Okay, what could Bellingham have done? Tell when you're camped on the edge of your box, Jeff. You're acting as if, like, both teams are, like, 50-50 in the middle of the pitch. If you're camped on the edge of your box, your manager's changed it to a 5 and you're one of the midfielders, then you get put on the left. Bellingham isn't a left winger. Bellingham's going to get the ball, look up, and you've got Harry Kane stood next to you. It's not as if there were runners and there's players in behind that he could have found a ball or done 1-2 with. So there's no one can say anything about what Bellingham done last night. You've got to look at other players and the tactics of the manager. the goal, second goal, 2v1, has Messi getting a crossing. I just don't think you can compare what Messi done yesterday to what Bellingham done, because when you're defending in that low block and there's no one to get out, there's nowhere to go, Jeff.
Another text here, Argentina sent on a 38-year-old centre-back and Tuchel didn't send on Watkins. Okay. After a heartbreaking World Cup exit then, talkSPORT's Angelina Kelly caught up with some pretty despondent England fans in Atlanta to get their thoughts.
Absolutely gutting. I mean, you can see, 2 goals in the final 7 minutes of normal time. I thought we kind of rode our luck in the second half. I thought it was going to happen. I mean, they hit the post twice. Pickford makes an unbelievable save. There was a great tackle from Jed Spence. I thought Stones and Gecky were heroic. But you can't invite that much pressure. It was frustrating to watch from an England perspective. I was surrounded by Argentinian fans. The concrete was shaking. But at the same time, I'm really proud of the effort. I'm not going to slaughter this England team.
I've got an England fan here with me. I understand you have been at every World Cup since '86. Can you describe that in one word?
It's been a long journey. 55 years of following England since the Euros 1972. And you just keep hoping it's going to be your turn, but it still isn't.
What did you make of the tactical changes from Tuchel today? Did you understand?
Disastrous. England keep failing because we don't believe in ourselves, and the whole world sees that we just don't have enough confidence to go on and win it. Earlier in the tournament against Croatia, when the pressure was on, he threw the dice and put more people forward. Here he tried to defend for 40 minutes. We all saw that. That's a crazy thing to do.
Right, we focus on what's happened on the pitch. 1 or 2 incidents to report. Off it, here's talkSPORT's World Cup reporter Max Scott with more.
Yeah, good morning, boys. If you're like me and you left the pub immediately or you turned the telly off straight away, you'll have missed a couple of flashpoints. The first involves Jude Bellingham and Argentina defender, former Brighton defender Valentin Barco. After the full-time whistle, Jude Bellingham is consoled by one Argentina player. They shake hands. Then they start celebrating in a group very close to Bellingham. It appears that Barco sort of looks towards Bellingham or says something which antagonises him. He then responds by approaching the group and slapping Barco on the back of the head. Some argy-bargy, for want of a better phrase, sort of ensues between Otamendi and Bellingham. That's one of the flashpoints that's doing the rounds, particularly on social media. But perhaps the most significant is that at the end of the game, Argentina fans throw onto the pitch a banner which reads Las Malvinas son Argentinas, which means in English the Falklands belong to Argentina. Players like Lisandro Martinez, Nicolas Otamendi, former Spurs midfielder Giovanni Lo Celso are dancing, holding that banner up in front of the fans. This, of course, is a political statement which means that Argentina are likely to be fined for this. We don't know for sure, but according to FIFA rules, any political banners, flags, etc., should receive a ban after the tournament.
They charge £5 million, don't they, for a game, an international game? So that'll cover it.
Yeah, they've done it previously. The same banner held. They got £20,000 fine.
Wow. Yeah, that's so expensive. Well, how would they be able to get to games?
Yeah, so that was a real distasteful element, wasn't it, of this fixture? But yeah, two.
It wasn't, because the game was over, and with the best will in the world. And I don't want to get into politics. It's what the Argentinians believe. They believe that the Falklands are theirs. We believe completely the opposite. You're absolutely right. There shouldn't be political statements, but there've been political statements all the way through the World Cup. Every action against the Iranian team was a political statement.
Yeah.
So
And what Bellingham done, we don't know what's said.
No.
Maybe
Yeah.
he said
Yeah.
they were antagonising
Exactly.
the game. He's angry.
Yeah.
Maybe the kid deserved a little slap across the head.
Yeah.
But it was no big deal, was it? It's no big deal. It's gone. We have to swallow defeat and not just accept that we were second best. We were just second best on the day.
It's not coming home.
It's a phrase I just don't want to hear anymore. And that's one of the positives. Is we don't have to hear people shouting, it's coming home. Because it's not. Max, thanks very much, mate. Still to come on breakfast.
Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. Spend £100 or more in-store or online as a trade account holder and you could win a brand new Ford Ranger. T's and C's apply.
Coming up in half an hour, we'll get the view from between the sticks. Former Three Lions keeper Jack Butland is in to help us pick through the burns of last night's heartbreak. Just take the chance at this stage. Jordan Pickford silenced all of his critics during this tournament and was outstanding again for England last night. Plus, We'll hear from Sam Allardyce, who joins us to debate whether Thomas Tuchel did get his substitutions completely wrong, or, as Tuchel himself says, he has no regrets. That was our breakfast preview with Travis Perkins.
Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. Want to win a brand new Ford Ranger? Just spend £100 or more using your Travis Perkins trade account to enter into the draw. T's and C's apply.
When we have a 4-2-4 system, players like Olmo, if you look at him, he's always between two lines. Yep. This player, you saw it in the game with Belgium, you saw it in the game with Portugal. He is exactly the kind of, I would say, a virus who is entering in the blood of the opponents, and he killed us. He was one of the players perfectly suited to kill us.
Yeah. Can I just ask your thoughts on Mbappe last night as well? I mean, did he let himself down, Eric? I know he's a big player, he's a big personality, but even walking off last night, not shaking anybody's hands, I mean, how does that look?
It looks like the real Mbappe is back. There is two Mbappe, the one who is having a mission and the one who can be positive and working and sharing and being the leader of a team. And when he loses his gift, his toy, when the toy is broken, suddenly the teenager who is part of him comes back, the one who is selfish, the one who is a bit aggressive when he gets a yellow card with the goalkeeper, the one who doesn't share hands with opponent, the one who suddenly in the last 20 minutes he knew the game was lost and he played for himself. He made some useless kicks, shots. Sorry. So altogether, we are back with the Mbappe from Paris Saint-Germain, the Mbappe sometimes of Real Madrid, the Mbappe that we know that...
Hello, I'm Matt Forden from talkSPORT. This is How to Win the World Cup.
This is the best squad I think England have ever had.
He used to love America, now he doesn't. It's very sad.
It was so important to succeed because of all the pressure we received.
Don't jump for this one, I'm going to knock his head off.
Warning, this podcast does not guarantee England will actually win anything.
Morning, it's 7:49, Thursday, July the 16th. This is World Cup Breakfast with me, Jeff Stelling and Gabby Agbonlahor. Matt says no one's talking about Declan Rice. According to any Arsenal fans, the best midfielder in the Premier League, done nothing all tournament.
Agreed.
Talk of him as the next captain is a joke. He has been anonymous.
Agreed.
England head coach Thomas Tuchel retains the backing of the FA and is expected to lead the team into Euro 2028, although this is coming from a Mark Bullingham sound grab basically immediately after the match. England captain Harry Kane says it's too early to judge whether he could play on for his country till the next World Cup in 2030. He'll be 36 by that time. By the way, we should say, talking of age, we talked about Messi a bit. That cross. Look, Stones gets under it. I know that. We don't close him down.
Weaker foot.
But pinpoint or what in those circumstances?
Weaker foot as well. They're not expecting him to go down his right, are they?
Just incredible.
Mixes it up, yeah.
Just incredible. Right, day one of the Open Championship at Royal Birkdale. It's live on talkSPORT 2 all weekend. We had Bob McIntyre tee off a few minutes ago, and he's had a pretty decent start, I think. Here's talkSPORT's golf correspondent Rupert Bell.
You're absolutely right there, Jeff. A flying start from Bob McIntyre because he holed a magnificent putt of over 45 feet at the first hole, and then he absolutely hit a fantastic second shot into the second hole to no more than 6 inches for a tap-in birdie. So he's 2 under after 2 holes. Other players who've got off to good starts include Matt Baldwin, who was the first player to tee it up, the local lad who's a member here at Royal Birkdale. He's got a birdie. Thomas Dietrich in their opening group too. And Matthew Southgate, the Englishman who finished as leading Englishman here back in 2017, has also got an early birdie. Some big names teeing it up in the next hour include former Open champion Francesco Molinari, and Justin Rose will be amongst the morning starters as well. But it's Bob McIntyre setting the early pace.
The Open Championship update on talkSPORT with Arnold Clark. Get a discounted home charger from just £549 when you buy an electric car today.
And don't forget, full coverage of the Open over on talkSPORT 2, running through till about 8 o'clock this evening. A lot of talk wasn't there about them starting the final round of the Open early, so it would be finished before England playing in the World Cup final, but that's not an issue anymore, is it? Time now for our next coffee break with Costa Express.
The Costa Coffee Break on talkSPORT, sponsored by Costa Express. Freshly ground Costa coffee for a quality day.
And Laura Kirk-Francis is back with us.
Kirk-Francis.
Hi, Laura.
Good morning. Well, whenever England crash out like this, we are always looking for someone or something to blame. So on that note, let's hear what Adrian Durham had to say on why England might have crashed out here.
Look, guys, you know my history at talkSPORT, and you know my history with Arsenal Football Club. I just want to say something about Arsenal here. Bukayo Saka should be a key player for England. Nowhere to be seen today. Was he actually fit? Did he say he was fit when he wasn't fit? Have Arsenal said he was fit or not fit? It's a wasted player at this tournament, in my opinion. I'd also say about Declan Rice. Rarely does he come off a field of play. He's done that a couple of times. And yes, he's had an illness, but has he really been fully fit? Has he been rinsed too much by Arsenal? Did they want too much from him? They've got every right to play him. He's their player. They pay him the wages. But if that's going to be the case, I think that Declan Rice and Bukayo Saka need to ask themselves, do they want to win something with the country? Or is their club the priority? It might be a question going forward. Stuart Pearce, am I being a bit harsh there?
Ludicrously harsh.
Firstly, I just want to congratulate Adrian Durham on that. I think you have to have a very impressive level of bitterness, deludedness and mental gymnastics to watch that last night and complain about Arsenal. I think the Saka point is absolutely insane. Nowhere to be seen. What do you expect him to do on the bench? That's again, that falls to the manager.
I think he thinks that Banks did the whole tournament, maybe saying.
Yeah, maybe the whole tournament, but
it's harsh still though, yeah.
It's so harsh now, and I think
it's silly what Adrian says. Shouldn't even give it the time. I love Adrian, but shouldn't even give it the time of the day.
No,
he's obviously like messing around.
Well, he said it's a question. Yeah, it is a stupid question.
Yeah, he can't be serious.
Absolutely. No
Nonsense.
What does he expect the players just to down tools for Arsenal in the closing stages of the season?
Nonsense.
Yeah, I think
expect Arsenal to rest them when they're trying to win a title. It's absolute garbage.
No, and I think the thing as well is that the likes of Saka, Rice, and honestly all of these England players, regardless of whether they're injured or not, they all want to play. It's not up to them to decide, I'm too injured to play for England. It's up to the medical staff, Tuchel to go, am I going to take a risk? So if we're going to have this energy for Saka and Rice, let's also have it for Reece James. Okay, he's carrying an injury. Tuchel has made that decision. And I just think laying the blame at the clubs who work with the players week in, week out is crazy. And I have to defend Arsenal here. They have won the Premier League title. That was their priority.
No, you're spot on about that. Let's not give that any time of day, what Adrian's saying. But Reece James, he come off injured, didn't he? Like an injury again, maybe. And it's been like that throughout the tournament. So maybe in the next few days, Jeff, or next week, we go into detail about the players that he should have took and the players he took and the players that were injured and weren't right and the mistakes that
we took
made.
Tino Livramento, who was injured.
Mm-hmm.
And worse, we then call up Trevor Chalobah, who's never going to play in a million years.
To me last night, more chance of getting on than him. Like, he was never going to get on the pitch when you could have swallowed your pride and got Trent in.
Look, it's certainly nothing to do with the clubs. And by the way, you ask every Arsenal fan whether they would sacrifice winning the league for England, winning the World Cup, and not one of them is going to say yes. They all want Arsenal to win the Premier League.
Arsenal's biggest fan, but that's nonsense. No blame to any Arsenal player.
I would agree, but I think we are always looking for something to blame. We've been doing it all morning.
Tuchel, that's it.
Yeah, you think that's really where it ends, isn't it?
Of course it is. We score a goal just because they have a couple of chances in behind us and Jed Spence makes a great tackle. Okay, now we should all retreat and park the bus. Park the bus. Like, the players that we've got on our bench we could have brought on. Come on. The manager's to blame. And after the game, maybe it's too close for comfort for him to maybe say what he wants to really say. But he'll be 24 hours afterwards, he'll be saying to himself, I got that wrong, didn't I?
Yeah. And I think, to be honest, that is the worst outcome, if I'm going to make this about Arsenal, for all our players to play this long, but ultimately come home empty-handed, and a few of them are injured as well.
Saliba's out for 5 months.
Saliba out for 4 to 5 months. Declan Rice, I doubt we'll see before the international break.
Yes.
And I think I would go so far as to say it's disrespectful to these players who have put in everything for England. Carrying injuries will now go back to their clubs to try and defend a Premier League title, having given everything for England.
Yeah, that's the issue, obviously, is that the Premier League is so full on. It's a cliche, but there are no easy games, well, not many easy games in the Premier League. So you've got to have your foot flat to the pedal every single game, every single week. And when you're in Champions League long term as well, even more so. So it's no surprise when you go into a tournament like this that some of our players are pretty much on their knees.
Declan Rice looks
but it's not the players' fault, and it's not the club's fault. It's just circumstance.
Rice looks shattered every game. And I'm surprised with that how Mainu didn't get any game time. Why bring him? Why do you bring a midfielder that you thought you can bring on in games for Rice, who looks shattered? Shattered, he did.
Yeah. And again, all of that comes down to Tuchel, not Arsenal.
Yeah.
Tuchel's to blame, that's it. Simple as that.
Completely agree. For more from Adrian Durham.
No, thank you.
If you can bear, and Stuart Pearce's thoughts on the game, check out the World Cup Daily podcast wherever you listen to them. Laura, thank you very much indeed.
If you ask Andros, no one's to blame. It's just the spirit of the air.
You're to blame, Gabby. Honestly, you are to blame.
Honestly. It's the raw meat to blame. Christ. Too many eggs.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Too much raw meat.
You go for a coffee with him after the show, are you?
No way. Honestly, he's in the bad books, Andros. Honestly, mate.
That was all thanks to Costa Express. Coming up, we're joined live by someone who was in the squad for the 2018 semi-final loss to Croatia. Does this one hurt even more than that one? Jack Butland is with us next.
The Costa Coffee Break on talkSPORT. Sponsored by Costa Express. Freshly ground Costa coffee for a quality day.
Look, we've seen some amazing players play for England in my lifetime, but I feel that what Bellingham is doing, even if you compare it to Kane, and Kane is an icon, Kane is one of England's greats as well, but Bellingham feels different.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Do you think he's the greatest player to ever play for England?
Can we frame this question in a slightly different way?
Go on.
Can we just discount the 66 winners? Okay. I can't.
You can't
They won
You
it,
can't go
right?
against Bobby Moore.
They've won it. They've won it.
Okay,
Like,
but is he the best player you've seen in an England shirt ever?
he's not. He's probably not the best player, but he might be the best England player, the best player for England. Like, look, you could argue that Steven Gerrard was a better player than him. You could argue that Paul Scholes was. You could argue that lots of players were, but none of them did it for England in the way that Bellingham has already. Already, 22 years old. Already, think about what happened in Qatar. Think about what happened in Germany, and this World Cup, he's taken it to a completely different level.
Yeah,
like I think it's amazing. I don't
Rooney?
Rooney never did it for England quite like Rooney. I was there. Rooney scored 1 goal at a World Cup for England.
Yeah,
like Jamie Carragher wrote a piece in yesterday's Telegraph, and he was talking about Gaza. He was kind of making the comparisons with Gaza. Gaza captured a nation, and all that.
Yeah,
and he obviously did. And you think of his performances in Italian '90 and then Euro '96. But I didn't know this until I read Carragher's article. Gaza didn't score at Italian '90. He didn't score. Bellingham's got 6 in 6. It's different. I don't see how you can say that he's not better than what Gerrard did for England. Gerrard had his moments, remarkable footballer. But Rooney's contribution.
The story of England's World Cup win in 1966 is the stuff of legend. Pickles and a lost trophy, World Cup Willie, they think it's all over. They couldn't have done it without the skills and goals of Sir Geoff Hurst. But his World Cup journey wasn't always plain sailing. But for a freak injury in the group stages in 1966, we may have never been speaking about Sir Geoff Hurst in the same way. He got the call after Jimmy Greaves had his leg sliced open against France in the final group match. Hurst got off to a flying start in the knockouts, literally, scoring the winner against Argentina 12 minutes from time in the quarter-final. He didn't score in the semis against Portugal, but his influence on the game was massive. When Greavesy was past fit for the final, though, the public and the press wanted their main man back in. Sir Alf Ramsey stuck with Hurst, and the rest, well, you know. His heroics prompted parties on the streets. Once the celebrations had died down, England started preparing to defend the trophy. And just look at their record between 66 and 70. Only 4 losses in 36 games. But when 70 came around, fate played a mean trick on Hurst. In the quarter-final against the Germans, Hurst scored a legitimate goal in extra time that was disallowed. And England lost. Basically the exact opposite of the 1966 World Cup final. With that, Sir Geoff's pretty short World Cup career came to an end. When you look at his stats, they aren't massively impressive. But when you consider 3 of his 5 goals came on that glorious afternoon at Wembley, it's not a bad trade-off. What you might not know about Sir Geoff, though, is that after retiring, he didn't stay in football. I mean, he tried, oh yes, but he packed in management after 2 years and later worked in insurance because he couldn't afford his mortgage. I mean, can you imagine Harry Kane in insurance nowadays? Yes, Sir Geoff may have only played in 2 World Cups, but crucially, he helped bring one of them home. Jules Rimet, still gleaming.
Good morning, 4 minutes past 8 o'clock, Thursday, July the 18th. This is World Cup Breakfast. I'm Jeff Stelling Gabby Agbonlahor alongside me. We're here with Arnold Clark. It's the perfect time to upgrade your car. Get 2 years free servicing while you buy a used car in the upgrade event. Check it out online. The end of the World Cup road for England. Harry Kane's coming in for a bit of flack this morning. RC says Kane is a problem like Ronaldo is for Portugal. Everyone's too scared to sub him off. He's kept on for penalties. He doesn't have the legs. Worldy finisher, but no pace, and therefore no threat. He's not Rooney, Owen or Shearer, and doesn't scare teams. What do you think, Gav?
Jeff, against Congo, after the game, I give ratings and I said, listen, Harry Kane, fantastic goal, but he's got to do more during the game. I got slaughtered by England fans. I got slaughtered by everybody. And I stick to what I says. Listen, he's a fantastic goal scorer, but in certain games against elite defenders, he goes missing. Last night again, didn't hold the ball up, dropping deep too much, didn't get in the box at all. And sometimes he can cost you. Everyone should be able to be subbed. Was there a scenario where, you know what, 60 minutes, Harry Kane can't run around. We need a threat in behind. Watkins is there, fresh.
Yeah.
Run all day, change it. So I don't think Harry Kane's a problem, but in some games, Jeff, you can bring him off and bring someone else on.
Well, England manager Thomas Tuchel spoke to talkSPORT's England correspondent Faye Carruthers after the match. He was asked if he regrets retreating to a back five.
No, I don't regret it. It doesn't help if you regret anything. You take the decision in the moment. It's anyway, like the focus on any structure is and in hindsight itself makes no sense. But the structure itself is just a structure. The important thing is that you put it to life and that you stay aggressive. You can defend crosses in a 4-4-2. We didn't. That's why I tried to help with a back five. But it was also again difficult, so we tried in a 5-4-1 to have at least two players. So that was even more deep.
Do you think it maybe sends out a message, though, if you go to five at a back, that you're protecting a lead rather than going on to kill off the game?
Yeah, if you say it like this, it's a beautiful thing to simplify.
I'm not a football coach, though, so I'm simplifing it from a you know.
And this is okay. You can do that, and I took the decision. I take the responsibility, but I will not now go to a hypothetical approach because no one knows what would have happened if I put three strikers on. So if I put three strikers on and we lose the match, you will ask me the same question if I send the wrong message. So I try to help the team. That's my job. I cannot care about what other people in the end think about it. It's about I take responsibility for this. It's part of the job. It's no problem.
I just got one quick thought here, Gabby. You talking about Thomas Tuchel. Harry Kane afterwards come out and said, look, trying to hold on to a lead at this level isn't enough.
Yeah.
We know that Jude Bellingham's had his issues with Thomas Tuchel. We saw it again after the Gabriel Clark interview. Do you think the players are having Tuchel?
Listen, throughout the tournament, I'd say yes. But I think after that yesterday, a lot of them will question about him because those tactics they would have been fuming with. Normally players come out afterwards, Jeff, and they'll never speak like that. Harry Kane wouldn't have said that. Mark Gay said the similar things. They must have all been baffled at the tactics. I don't think after that semi-final they will.
I wonder as well, you know, look, it's coach's prerogative, of course it is. But Ezri Konsa, you wouldn't be human if you're Ezri Konsa or Nico O'Reilly, if you weren't bitterly disappointed that you were left out, didn't start this game.
Do you know what? When I saw the team, Jeff, I thought to myself, you know what? In Thomas Tuchel, I trust. With a connection with Konsa, no problem. O'Reilly. And look at Spence's performance, and you're like, okay, yeah, it was working, no problem.
Yeah, and he was excellent.
If we got through, we would have said, you know what? Harsh on the players, but you know what? The manager makes big decisions, okay with it. When it doesn't work, then you question him. But what I want to speak quickly about, Jeff, is this was Thomas Tuchel's words when he got the job. When he came in, he said this about England after our performance in the 2024 Euros. They were more afraid to drop out of the tournament than having the excitement and hunger to win it. The audacity. Glass houses. Look what you've done.
Yeah.
Well, someone should play that back to him and say, Thomas, you know, these were your words after we lost in the final. Basically, like a little dig at Gareth Southgate and his managing Look at what you've done, 10 times worse.
And Shoz has just texted something, similar. He says, when you're 1-0 up against Argentina, you can stop them scoring by defending deep and parking the bus. You can also stop them scoring by having the ball, winning throw-ins, free kicks, corners, having possession. Tony Saka, Rashford, Maino, Watkins, Rodgers, all on the bench. He brings on 3 defenders. Inexcusable.
Simple.
Let's get...
Sorry, Jeff. And also, Jeff, like you know your football, I know my football, but so do millions of people that aren't working in football. Everyone's saying the same thing. I don't care what qualifications you've got. We're all on the same page. That was not the way to go.
Yeah.
Just simple as that.
And like many Texans, I would have loved it if he'd just come out, and it is straight after the game, so I understand that. If he'd just come out after the game and said, look, I got that wrong, I hold my hands up, I got it wrong. But he says he has no regrets. Let's get another player's perspective on the defeat with one of England's 2018 World Cup goalkeepers, Jack Butland. Morning, Jack.
Morning, Jack.
Good morning, guys.
Good morning, mate.
Well, you were in that 2018 squad that went out in the semi-finals, so you know how the players are feeling this morning.
Yep. Yeah, I know how it feels. It's a horrible one. We were so close to doing something great and getting to a final and all the rest of it. So it hurts immensely, and it hurts for us all. Now as a fan watching on, but yeah, it was not a nice way to see us leave the tournament. I will say that.
Jack, talk to me from a goalkeeper's point of view. Once we changed to more defensive formation, are you in the goal if you're Pickford and saying, "Come on, push up. They're getting crosses in. Like, it's going to be hard for me to react." He made 2 great saves, 2 off the post. It was inevitable, wasn't it, mate, with that formation? What's going to happen?
I think that's the feeling. I think that's the frustration that everybody has. It gets to a point where it does feel inevitable that chances are going to come, crosses are going to come. You go to a back 5, and what we did see is you get much less pressure on the ball in the middle of the pitch, especially when teams start to get down the side. The last thing you want as a goalkeeper later on in a game is a back 5, 4 close midfielders in front, bodies everywhere in front of you. You can't see. Balls then get cut back towards the middle of the pitch. Shots get taken. You're completely unprepared. You can't see it. You line of sight, which is what happens with the first goal.
Yep.
It's a complete lack of line of sight. You can see Jordan trying to find it. More bodies in front of him than he would have had prior to going to a back 5. So you've got to be excellent in that scenario. You've got to really work for that as a team. You've got to get up to the ball, and we didn't. I think there was that many changes towards the end that it's never a lack of grit, never a lack of mentality from the lads. You can see them all trying desperately, trying to figure out where they needed to be. The corner situation that obviously leads to the first goal. They're trying to get organised. And it just causes a bit of panic. And I think that's what it looked like in the end, is that we were hanging on, and that's not the team we want to be. Neither is it the quality of players that we've got either. It's just to hang on. We've got a lot more than that. We've got a lot more.
I mean, I think most people would agree that by and large, Jordan Pickford had an excellent tournament. One thing from a goalkeeper's perspective, though, never mind the fact we finished with a back 5 or a back 6 or a back whatever it was, Thomas Tuchel in the tournament did not play the same back 4 in any 2 games. How big an issue is that for a goalkeeper?
I mean, it can be if you're playing with guys that haven't played regular, but when you're together for a month like that and you played together loads in the qualifying and things like that, it's not. They're too professional for that. You get into the game and you get down to doing your job. If people didn't perform, that's a different question. But I can't really point out anyone that didn't perform when they were given the opportunity to, given the injuries that we had, people coming in and out. So no, there's really nothing in that for me. You've got to be professional about your job. You've got to do your job exactly the same, regardless of who's in front of you. So I don't think it was unsettling. I think there was bigger things for us as a nation that we needed to get right.
You know what was so frustrating as well, and that it would be for Pickford and yourself who was in goal, Jack, is that even the first goal, yes, shocking, no one getting out to the ball, everyone just on the edge of the box. But before the second goal, McAllister gets the ball on the edge of the box, turns, hits the post.
Yeah.
Too many players are sat back in a line, 5 or 6 of them. You don't need so many players marking 2 or 3 players, do you? You've got to get up to the ball.
But that's what going into a back 5 does. It drags people back into wide areas. It gives you less threat up the pitch, which forces Argentina onto you. So you've got less threat going the other way. They've got nothing to fear people running you behind. So it just drags everyone near your goal. Those things can then happen. So if you're going to do that, you have to be incredible at it. And against a team like Argentina with the quality they do have, you're gonna run the risk of getting unlocked. And for us, like 2 moments of magic is what does it. You know, you could have hung on. We did it against Mexico, did it against Norway to a point, but we're a better squad with better players than what we. I think we're able to showcase when you go to that towards the end. So the biggest thing for me is like people are comparing us to Spain, well, and how they did it. Well, what Spain have done for decades is play a certain way with an identity of what they are. What we are, people underestimate us for the quality that we have, for the legs, for the attitude, for the grit that we've got, the ability to be organised in the teams that we play, like in England. You've got boys that play for Man City that can pop it off the park. You've got lads that have played at Arsenal this year and won the league that have done it in a different way. We've got so much quality, but our identity, instead of relying on that and going to that at the end of the game of what we're great at and what we can be good at, we go to hang on. And whilst we might have the qualities or people that can come off the bench and really help that scenario, it's just encouraging the inevitable at the end. And it's like I said, I just think we're better than that. We've got to show that we're better than that.
Yeah, see, I just had a text a couple of minutes ago, Jack, from somebody saying Thomas Tuchel doesn't trust that we are technically good enough to keep the ball. You know, these players play in the Premier League, you know, the best leagues around the world. Yep. Surely they are good enough technically to keep the ball.
Hindsight is a wonderful thing, because we could be sat here having a completely different conversation if we had hang on, because we did it in the 2 games prior. Is it just third time that it was just too much to ask? I don't know.
Jack, you know what the problem is? I think everyone's got Jack.
We've got too much play.
Jack, the problem is that, like, even if you're going to go to a back 5, you have to have quick players up the pitch that you can counter-attack. It makes Argentina keep more players back. You can't have Gordon, your only really quick player, off the pitch and no Rashford or Watkins on. That's the problem, isn't it?
I agree that you can never get out. You can never get out. And it's not fair on Harry to go the legs situation. It's not. You're asking him at the end, okay, you could take him off, but he is your guy that can come up with a moment of magic. But he's up there in the middle on his own, or working side to side on his own, because you've gone into a back. He doesn't have people up near him. So it will expose perhaps one of his weaknesses, which is he's not the quickest. But he's a world-class player. Messi is a world-class player, the greatest of all time. Argentina played to help him. We, in the end, played to hang on rather than play to some of our strengths. Could you have changed it? Could you have gone more attacking? You could have brought players on, if you like, that Eze, people that can take the ball in and buy fouls and go past people. There's ways of doing it. Hindsight, it really didn't work. Doesn't mean to say it was going to work the other way, but I think we'd all agree that perhaps going down fighting and going down a different way would have been an easier pill to swallow.
Absolutely.
Spot on, mate.
Jack, thanks so much again.
Thank you, Jack. Get
Pleasure,
on that bike,
guys.
Mate. Get on that bike.
I'm on my way now, mate. I'm in the car ready to go. So I drown my sorrows on
Cheers,
the bike.
Jack.
So, cheers, guys. Take it easy.
Craig from Corby says, on the subject of Harry Kane, the simple fact is he hasn't been since the DR Congo game. Scored a penalty against Mexico. That's it. World-class finisher. Yet again, we have to question his record in the real big games. Top players turn up. He goes missing all too often. And finally, Ross says, this is the best breakfast show in years. These English teas are delicious. The office will be so enjoyable today. Ross is a Scotland fan in Kent. Glad you're enjoying it.
Celebrating beating Haiti.
Enjoying it.
Man. Give it a rest.
Coming at what your thoughts on what went so badly wrong for England last night, and whether you want Thomas Tuchel to be manager of the Euros.
He seems to be in the fact that it was kind of a premeditated idea by Gabriel Clark to ask a question in a divisive way. You know him, you've done this job, so What did you make of the interview, and what do you make of all the fallout from it?
Well, straight after the interviews, I sent Gabriel a text, and I said, a masterclass in the art of post-match interviewing. And I would stand by that now. Gabriel's not a sensationalist. He's not out for headlines. He will look you in the eye and ask a straight question. Having been in that situation, I think he might have been slightly surprised when Tuchel came and said we were poor and we didn't do this and we didn't do that. That might have surprised him slightly, and he threw the mentality line in that Tuchel bit his head off about. But those situations, you've got a limited amount of time. There's no way that you're going to go, I'm going to ask him this and wind him up here, and then I'll get Bellingham. And by the way, what a story that's going to be. That's not Gabriel. Gabriel's the best in the business at doing that by a considerable margin, and has been for many years. And when Gabriel put it to him, your manager wasn't very happy overall, and he shrugged his shoulders and said, whatever. Fine.
Do you think Gabriel could have qualified it a bit more? Maybe in hindsight, he thinks if he'd said the manager wasn't happy with performance, not in terms of effort, maybe in terms of quality, you can play better than that as a team.
I think you and everyone that's ever asked a question would look back and go, perhaps I could have asked that question a bit better. But in the heat of the moment there, in those bowels, when the adrenaline is still running, it was a straightforward, it was an honest bit of interviewing. It wasn't tricky. And I was thinking about it coming in here. There's been nothing from the England camp.
No drama,
There's been nothing. There's been no fights. There's been no drunks. There's been no women. There's been nothing untoward. And I think a lot of people jumped on this. Here's a bit of division here, Bellingham and Tuchel, etc., etc. There's a bit of history there, and I think it has been.
Get ready to get that winning feeling with talkSPORT Win. This summer, talkSPORT is bringing you live and official coverage of every game of the FIFA World Cup 2026. And to celebrate, we're giving away £26,000 guaranteed. Go to win.talksport.com to enter now, and you could win 26 grand in your hand, tax-free. Enter now, and you could be the next to get that winning feeling, courtesy of talkSPORT Win. Find out how to enter now at win.talksport.com.
Yeah, very good morning to you. It's 8:22, Thursday, July the 16th. This is World Cup Breakfast with me, Jeff Stelling, and the former England striker, Gabby Agbonlahor. Time right now to get the latest odds with Coral and Dave Stevens.
The Coral Daily Download on talkSPORT with Coral. We're here to reward the fans this summer. 18 plus, gambleaware.org.
Steve-O, good morning to you.
Morning, Steve-O.
Jeff, Gabby, how are we?
I don't know, mate.
We're okay, really. I mean,
it's subdued, isn't it? I mean, obviously the listeners have made their feelings clear. Jeff, you're older than me. Gabby, I'm older than you. I go, look, 1982 was my first summer of disappointment as an England fan. And it's just that same old feeling. And look, there are many stats to pick out from last night, but I thought the 12% possession for England after they took the lead was probably the most telling, because you can't hold on against a team with so many. And look, they can win ugly, Argentina. We've seen that time and time again in this tournament. But then they have the ability to score world-class goals. And
I'll beat that stat for you, Steve-O. The last 25 minutes, 7.5% possession.
Yeah.
How about that?
And it just felt inevitable, didn't it? That not only actually were they going to equalise,
yes,
but then they were going to. It's just that empty feeling of disappointment that I've had, as I say, 82, 86, 90, 98. The list goes on, and 60.
a lot of people, Steve, said we were the better side, in the first half. Well, we didn't have a shot. We didn't have a shot on target, I mean, the John Stones header wide, that was it.
We're the bridesmaids, aren't we, Steve? We're not the bride.
Well, look, we went into it as fourth seeds, third favourites in this open golf weekend. You could say it was a par performance getting to the last four. But, of course, that isn't any consolation at all. There's just one point I think has been slightly overlooked, and it probably didn't make any difference in the overall thing, but the defending for Martinez's header was non-existent. There was a defender 2 yards behind him and 1 2 yards in front of him, but he had the freedom of the 6-yard box for that header. And there's moments that it can come down to. But, as I say, ultimately, second half against Croatia, patches against Mexico, but really England never.
And you say, look, we fourth seeded team effectively, so it's par for the course. Well, it wasn't because of the path that we had to reach the final. Argentina are the first half-decent side we played. You look at the Spanish, who had to play Portugal, and then who had to play France as well. Anyway.
I think I said, Jeff, as well, Steve, I was seeing something on Twitter last night from a Welsh fan zone page. Unlucky England, but well done on reaching the semi-final after playing Panama, Ghana, Croatia, Congo, Mexico and Norway after qualifying from a group with Albania, Serbia, Latvia and Andorra. You've got to agree, haven't you, mate? We play someone decent and we go out.
Yeah, I mean, yes is the answer. Has it just saved the disappointment of Sunday night against a Spanish side who could be hitting top form? I mean, for me, that performance against France, and I'm sure this is nothing surprising to say, that was the performance of this tournament so far. I didn't see that coming, Gab. We spoke on the morning of the game. We fancied France.
Yeah.
They were brilliant, and they are worthy favourites to lift the World Cup. They're 7-4 on to win, to lift the World Cup. 5-4 Argentina, but Argentina, time and time again, have dug deep. And similar thing in the 90-minute betting, 13-10 favourite Spain, 5-2.
That's not important, Steve. Who's the favourites to finish third?
Is there a more pointless game in football, in any sport? I don't care as a punter. I know I shouldn't be saying this as a bookmaker. I don't care about it. France are favourites, but they're like I said, genuinely, who cares? Who cares?
And nobody cares. The final itself, it's crying shame that we're not there, but current European champions against the current world champions. I mean, it's a fantastic
and
game.
Look, 4 years ago was probably the greatest World Cup final I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Could Sunday night live up to it? It's not impossible.
Yeah, it really could be. The Open's underway at Royal Birkdale. Steve-O, obviously, and I know it's going to be Scotty Scheffler and Rory McIlroy who dominate the betting.
It is. Look, Scheffler's not in the best of forms. Missed the cut last week. I think first time in a long time. But he's 7-1 favourite to win it again. He is the reigning champ. Rory obviously will be hugely popular, 8-1. But look, I mentioned Bob McIntyre, who started brilliantly. Early days, obviously, but he's 14-1. Same price, local boy Tommy Fleetwood. He'd be hugely popular. So it'd be nice to have a home winner just to cheer us all up.
Steve-O, give us a quick price about Justin Rose.
Justin Rose, it is... Oh, I have to go down a long way for Justin.
Simon would have it ready, mate.
Is Justin Rose even in this tournament?
Yes, he is in this tournament.
I didn't find him in the betting. There must be a mistake here.
No, dear, oh dear, oh dear. Never mind. Okay, we'll let you off the hook, Steve. Big price each way.
He must be a big price. He's bigger than 66-1. I've gone down that far. Look, I'm trying to cheer us up. England favourites to win the cricket today.
Oh, whoopee.
Yeah, well, we got thrashed by India in the first.
Yeah, how are we favourites to win it? I don't get that at all. We absolutely got battered.
I agree. Let's all back India to cheer ourselves up. And Coral Racing Club had a winner at the start of the week at Lingfield. Greek Symphony won. Aspire to Glory goes in the 3:38 at Thirsk today. He's a big price, 16-1, but we're clutching at any straws we can here. Let's get on the India Aspire to Glory Bob McIntyre treble.
Steve-O, thanks very much indeed.
Thank you, Steve.
Cheers, fellas.
And that was Look at the Latest Odds with Coral, 18+, gambleaware.org. Coming up, the fans' perspective on what was the ultimate disappointment for England last night. That's next.
The Coral Daily Download on talkSPORT with Coral. We're here to reward the fans this summer. 18+, gambleaware.org.
Okay, you want to talk about Messi? Genuine question. Does Messi get in our team?
What do you mean?
Would you swap Bellingham for Messi?
But he's not playing there.
Okay, would you swap Kane for Messi?
He's not playing there.
Okay,
he's a right winger.
Okay, he might get in that position. You wouldn't swap. You wouldn't swap Bellingham, would you? You wouldn't swap Bellingham for me. If I offered you the option now, Messi in, Bellingham out.
Okay, yeah, but you'd move him around, wouldn't you?
No, but if you just give you that a trade, you give them Bellingham, we get Messi. Would you do it? Nah. Would you? You unpatriotic swine.
I didn't say yes. I did say no. But you're asking.
Would you swap Kane for Messi? If that was on offer now, just for this game,
a one-off game.
This game,
a one-off game.
This game on Wednesday night in Atlanta. I'll give you the opportunity to sub off Harry Kane from our starting lineup and bring in Lionel Messi. Do you do that? Absolutely not.
I think. Come on, mate.
Today,
come on.
Harry Kane is a better footballer than Messi today. I'm not saying legacy. Lionel Messi is the greatest.
Lionel Messi is the leading goal scorer.
Lionel Messi is the greatest footballer to have ever lived. No doubt.
He is the leading goal scorer in this World Cup.
In his peak, no doubt.
I know, but
Kane is better than him today, isn't he?
I don't think you can say that.
There is a wane to Lionel.
I don't think
Messi. Lionel Messi. 08. If we're having this conversation, we're having this conversation. 09. When he destroyed Man United in Rome.
Play in this World Cup?
Yeah, I thought he was exceptional. I thought he was exceptional.
Did you watch Harry Kane against Norway? He didn't have his greatest game, did he?
No, he didn't. No, he
didn't.
Dead
on his feet. Come on.
Look at his goals against Congo.
I know, but look at Messi's goals in the tournament.
Okay, I'll give you the option now.
All right,
cards on the table?
All right, go on.
Would you rather have Harry Kane in your starting lineup on Wednesday night or Lionel Messi?
I'm not answering that question because it's
Would you rather?
I'm not.
Iconic. There's no other word. An 18-carat gold trophy that owns the world, and it waits. It waits for 4 years. It's 1971, and FIFA need a new trophy to replace the Jules Rimet, so they launch a worldwide design competition. And in his studio in Milan, 50-year-old sculptor Silvio Gazzaniga immediately gets to work. But instead of sending FIFA a picture, he goes further and makes a prototype they can hold. It works. FIFA choose his design over 52 others, and perhaps the most beautiful piece of silverware or goldenware enters the beautiful game. Let's let the artist himself describe it. Gazzaniga said the idea was to create something symbolising exertion, dynamism, and the jubilation of an athlete in the moment of victory, with all the joy that contains. The malachite rings in the base fitted the sculpture well because it's green like a football field, and it's also a precious stone. The first captain to lift the trophy was Franz Beckenbauer in 1974, and of course, it's only the greatest who get their hands on it. Zoff, Matthias paved the way for the modern-day heroes who dreamt of lifting Gazzaniga's masterpiece. But there was something about this man holding it that seemed to deliver everything the sculptor had imagined. Were I to ever redo it, the artist once said, I wouldn't change a thing.
It's sad, so sad. Why can't we talk it over? Oh, it seems to me.
I think Elton would have wanted to see Watford have a bit more of a go at the opposition than we did. This is World Cup Breakfast with me, Jeff Stelling, the former striker Gabby Agbonlahor. We're here with Arnold Clark. Browse the UK's best used car deals. Score your dream car today. Check out their website for more details. Olivia's got conundrum, Gabby. She says, I've got Spain in the sweepstake at work for £240. I've just been asked by the other guy who has Argentina if I want to split it. What do you think I should do?
Oh, tough decision. What they show Argentina, Jeff, don't they? They get it over the line. Wouldn't surprise me if they do it again against Spain.
So you think Olivia should split the money?
Yeah, I think split. I think split.
Gamble. All in, Olivia, for me. Go all in. It'll make the game on Sunday much more exciting as well. So the wait goes on for England's World Cup dreams. Heartbreak last night. Lautaro Martinez goal sent Thomas Tuchel's boys packing, or they will be packing after they've had the third place playoff. One man who was livid, not surprisingly, and not for the first time, our very own Jamie O'Hara, who on last night's Sports Bar went on an almighty rant about the England boss.
We go 1-0 up. Be brave. Be brave, Thomas. This is what we brought you in for. We brought you in for this moment. We got rid of Southgate because he bottled it, because he weren't brave. We brought you in for now to make that decision. We're 1-0 up in a World Cup semi-final. Bring on Rashford. Bring on Saka. And if they score, they score. But at least we're going to go down fighting. At least we're going to go down with some pride. We fell out of the World Cup in disgrace because of him. Because of him. And we brought him in for this job. This is what we brought him in for, to get us over this line. And it's the same old England, same old crap, same old guff that I have to watch every tournament that we're in. And it's the manager's tucked us up again. Tucked us up. We're dead on our feet. Got Morgan Rogers playing right wing, Jude Bellingham on the left. Brings on Nico O'Reilly. We can't get out. Harry Kane's done nothing. He's dead. Nothing. Got nothing left.
I don't.
I can't believe it, Jace.
Well, no.
Jace, I can't believe it.
No,
it's a disgrace.
He
should be sacked. Get him out. Gone.
Don't think he's happy with Tuchel, do you?
I do. It's very emotional. I was just sitting on the way back to London. I think a lot of England fans would have been saying the same at the pubs at home.
Well, they have been this morning.
I mean, it's very frustrating, mate.
Yeah, frustration turned into anger really this morning as well. But Paul in Wokingham says exactly that. Totally agree with Gabby. It's more anger now than disappointment.
Yeah.
Look, let's say a very good morning to comedian and host of How to Win the World Cup podcast, Matt Ford. He's with us. Morning, Matt. Are you going to change the name then?
What's your thoughts, Donald?
Oh, man. Just gutted, man. Just gutted. It didn't have to be like that. The most frustrating thing, obviously, is when you feel like a game's there to be won, and we had them, and we chucked it away. And I always try and be philosophical about it, because you can understand the temptation. You're 5 minutes away from a World Cup final. You can absolutely understand after the defensive display against Mexico the logic of doing it, but again, you just can't do that at that level. You just can't, and it just You get that first goal, you think you have to get a second now so many times. The Italy final with Southgate.
The problem is, though, like you said, 5 minutes, but he'd done it on the 71st minute. That's 5 at the back. That's 30 minutes plus, left of the game. It's too early.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
And it's, obviously Jamie O'Hara's expressed himself in his own way, but the whole point of Tuchel was it was meant to be different, that it wasn't going to be like this.
Yeah.
And I sort of have sympathy with people who are making decisions under a lot of pressure. Don't envy him. But of all the ways to lose, we lost in the way that we always lose.
No, we went out with a whimper, didn't we? Look, I thought the writing was on the wall as soon as Keir Starmer sent a good luck message. Frankly, he's had a bad week. His last PMQs this week as well, for goodness sake.
And he said he'll be at the final if we get there. Cheers for that, Keir. Cheers, pal.
It's just... You know what? I tried so hard not to get emotional last night.
Hard, mate.
It's really hard. It's like a bereavement. These are such big feelings. I'm still sort of processing it. I
think it's different though, Matt. If we were playing off the park and we lost to the better team, you're like, you know what, disappointed, hold your hands up. But when you 1-0 up and you revert to parking the bus. That's the frustrating anger from England fans.
I know.
It'll take a long time to get over because they were there for the taking. Go and get a second.
They were dirty as well. Let's not forget that. I can't stand them. And the ones that drive me mad are the ones that actually play here. Fernandes. You live and work in London, you moron. And then you're going around punching people like that. Elliot Anderson in the back of the head.
Yeah,
I cannot stand that sort of football.
Elliot Anderson gave a bit back as well. Let's be honest about it.
It was different when he did it.
And let's be honest too, Harry Kane spends half of his energy by being in the referee's face and ear all the time, And so
Harry's just having a
sides to
chat.
every story.
Harry's just having a chat. Harry's a diplomat.
He's a good.
He allows his words to and he's got every right to say to the referee, at what point are you going to book these people? They're violent.
Yeah.
I can't stand
If you
watching football.
look at the stats. Argentinians 15 fouls, England 11. There's not a huge gulf.
But it's the sort of fouls. It's the sort of
it
fouls.
is. It's the dark arts.
I agree, though,
agree with
and
that.
we knew that was going to happen, but I think we stood up to them. Do you know what I mean? Bellingham was walking away laughing, not getting involved, and we were giving them some back. We were kicking Messi, and Bellingham. We were fine. We stuck up for ourselves. The problem in the game is not that. The problem was we sat back, invited pressure. We had no get-out ball.
Yeah.
Disgraceful tactic for someone earning, what, 5, 6, 7, 8 million pounds a year. What are we paying him for?
I know.
What are we paying a foreign coach for? To put in that performance in the semi-final. He was brought in to get us to the next stage that Gareth Southgate couldn't. Big decisions, positive decisions that he's done all tournament. And for some reason last night he says, oh, it worked against Mexico. We had 10 men. We were playing Mexico. We weren't playing Argentina, the world champions. You can't park the bus. Messi, lofted through balls here, there and everywhere. Giving him time. You can't do that, mate. You can't, Matt.
No. So what? We just got to get Pep. Got to find a way.
Do you think there should be a change now?
I mean, the problem is he was hired for moments like that.
One job.
That was it.
Yeah.
And Gabby's right. You know, it's about the nature of the defeat. It's that. He came in saying, you know, if he was a politician, you'd say you've got to resign because you come in on he's one big promise is I'm not going to make decisions like that at times like that. And then when the moment comes, he doesn't rise to it.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, if you were being charitable, maybe he says, right, I've learnt my lesson. But why go through
a quote from him here. We conceded a chance straight away and we decided to go to a back five because the gaps were far too open. Whoopie-doo, you conceded a chance. That happens in football. Doesn't mean you go and, like, get everyone behind the ball and the edge of the box. No.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a text here from Dan in Felixstowe. Says, Kieran McKenna, ideal England manager. Like Gareth Southgate, great at building a strong team culture and trusting young English players, but his football is more progressive and attacking, and Gabby doesn't agree with that.
No. I feel like I don't know. Emotions are too high, Jeff. Like I pass.
Do you think, Matt, that this was our opportunity gone? And you know, next World Cup, Kane will be 36, Stones is 36, Pickford 36, Ollie Watkins 34, Ivan Toney 34, Eze, Rashford, Rice, all in their 30s.
Conser 32, will he? I think Conser's 32 in the next World Cup,
Yeah, but there's new talent. You know, there's players that we didn't take because they were injured. Cole Palmer, Phil Foden, you know, Morgan Gibbs-White didn't get in the squad. You know, there's no lack. England's problem is not in producing talent. We have always produced exceptional individuals. The question has always been the manner in which we set up and handle these big moments. I don't doubt that in 2 years' time and in 4 years' time, England will have an excellent squad, brimming with talent. There'll be positions on the pitch where, again, big names can't go because we've got so much. That's not the issue. It's
we're never going to win anything when we've got a coward as our manager. I mean, there's nothing worse than being called a coward. Thomas Tuchel is a coward. What he done last night was cowardly. Simple as that. Let's not mix up our words here. Let's just be honest. Simple.
Well, it's just, I mean, I don't want to I'm not happy with what he did, and I'm gutted. But obviously, he's made a judgment call and he's got it wrong. And the sad thing is that it's exactly what he said he wouldn't do.
He did it.
It was to go to a defensive position rather than offensive, and particularly when, and this is what's driven us mad for years, is with the players we've got, we are geared to attack. Why are we sort of relying on defence and you got Bellingham and Kane and Rashford, Gordon? You know, that we've wanted the handbrake to be taken off. And I think
if we'd brought on some like Rashford and we brought on Saka or Watkins, say, yesterday, Argentina wouldn't have been throwing as many players forward.
Yeah.
That two centre-halves booked, Ollie Watkins running in behind and Rashford the centre-halves. Do you know what I mean? We could have went for the second goal. Obviously not full pelt, but we could have attacked them and then they've got decisions to make, get a second goal.
It's just so sad.
Egypt
it
got
didn't
a
have to
second
be
goal.
like this.
Egypt got a second goal against them.
I know.
Egypt.
Sorry,
Egypt.
mate.
Man, I wanted it so bad, and we were good. We are good enough.
We are.
That's what drives me mad. Is we are class, and we got world level talent.
We're the bridesmaids, mate. We're not the bride. Simple.
Brian in Inverness says, every Scottish listener listening to Gabby's meltdown. If Carlsberg did Thursdays.
Oh, my God.
They are loving it in Scotland. Matt, thank you very much indeed.
I will not be going to Scotland for a long time.
I'll be there in August at the Edinburgh Festival. Look forward to seeing you all.
Good lad. Matt Ford, the host of the How to Win the World Cup podcast, which is brilliant. Better than England were last night. Listen to wherever you listen to your podcasts and
Even
some
Donald
more
Trump,
good news.
Donald Trump's got nothing to say. He's devoed as well.
Nah, and he's not devoed. He's just building himself up for his big moment on Sunday. him and Infantino together presenting the trophy. At least we won't have to wait and watch that, will we? Not anymore. Now, more good news for you. We got £26,000 up for grabs in cash, completely tax-free. Well, it definitely could be for you if you head to talksportwin.com and do it now. Still to come on breakfast.
Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. Spend £100 or more with a Travis Perkins trade account and you could win a brand new Ford Ranger. T's and C's apply.
Matt Ford just leaving us. Coming up, we'll get the views of Sam Allardyce, who'll be helping us dissect what turned out to be a bit of a tactical disaster. And we're taking your calls all morning. 03717 223344 is the number to have your say. That was our breakfast preview with Travis Perkins.
Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. Spend £100 or more at any Travis Perkins Hire or Benchmarks branch as a trade account holder and you could win a brand new Ford Ranger. T's and C's apply.
I was convinced by the hype train of France and Spain, as you've said, sorry to steal it from you, have suffocated them for 9 minutes.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. And look, I don't think you need to either apologise or acknowledge that you got it wrong. I am the very definition of a broken clock being right twice a day. I thought Spain were going to win. I know how brilliant they are, and it's that control that they put into a game. It's that control. They don't let you breathe. They don't allow you any sort of momentum, and you can't get the ball off them. Like, if you think about England, like the reason why I was so convinced Spain were going to win is because I was looking at this final and I was looking at it perhaps prematurely through the lens of who I want England to play.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at it, I'm thinking, who are England more likely to beat? And I was convinced that we're more likely to beat France. I'd kind of concede that we'd be underdogs against Spain or France. But I think our game would be more suited to beating France.
See, I disagree. I'd have rather played Spain, and maybe I've been hoodwinked by the fact that they drew against Cape Verde in the opening game, that they had Saudi Arabia, they're obviously going to beat them. They beat 10-man Uruguay 1-0. Uruguay stunk the place out. Marcelo Bielsa's destroyed and ruined his legacy.
Do you not just go back immediately to what happened in Berlin? When they were just too good for us.
Because I look at it and I think, this is the FA. I bet the FA are rubbing their hands at the prospect of potentially, we're not jinxing it, potentially playing Spain in a final, because it would vindicate their decision to hire Thomas Tuchel. There was lots of controversy about having a German in the seat, and I think he's got what it takes. He's got what Southgate didn't. Southgate's done amazing things. I believe we're standing on the shoulders of a giant in Southgate, what he did for England. But I think Tuchel's got the tactical nous and that edge and that aggression and that fight to get one over someone like Spain, whereas I thought France were going to be too much. But maybe I'm wrong.
Hello, I'm Matt Ford from talkSPORT. This is How to Win the World Cup.
This is the best squad I think England have ever had.
He used to love America, now he doesn't. It's very sad.
It was so important to succeed because of all the pressure we received.
Don't jump for this one, I'm going to knock his head off.
Warning, this podcast does not guarantee England will actually win anything.
Yeah, very good morning to you. This is talkSPORT Breakfast, 8:50. I'm Jeff Stelling Gabby Agbonlahor is with me as well. What do we know this Thursday morning? Well, England head coach Thomas Tuchel reportedly retains the backing of the FA, wants to lead the team into Euro 2028. England captain Harry Kane says it's too early to judge whether he could play on for his country until the 2030 World Cup. He'd be 36 by then. And the Open Championship underway at Royal Birkdale. Every shot, of course, live on talkSPORT 2. We heard earlier Bob McIntyre had made a great start. What's happening now, Rupert?
Well, he's still at 2 under par, opening birdies at the first and second hole for the Scotsman, and he is 2 under par, having played 6 holes. He's had birdie chances to increase to 3 under, but he's just failed to hold those putts. But Thomas Dietrich, who was first out this morning, well, he is also at 2 under par. Henrik Stenson, the former Open champion, is also 1 under through 7, and Alex Fitzpatrick, playing in his second Open, of course, brother of Matt, he actually finished in the top 20 in his only Open appearance, but he's having a great year. Well, he's 1 under through 6. Other players going along steadily enough is Andy Sullivan. He's at level par. Matthew Southgate's just had a bogey to slip back to level par. But in the next hour, we'll be seeing Justin Rose trying to win his first Open. Of course, back in '98, as a 17-year-old, he held out famously at the 18th to finish in 4th spot.
The Open Championship update on talkSPORT with Arnold Clark. Buy a used car and get a free 2-year service plan.
Yeah, don't forget every shot live over on talkSPORT 2. Thanks for all the reaction this morning. Been brilliant. Don't forget your texting. Try and put a name on it. John in Telford makes a good point, I think. Nobody's mentioned the Egypt and Argentina game. Did Thomas Tuchel not watch it? Argentina's so vulnerable on the break after going behind in the game. And he's absolutely spot on, isn't he, Gabby?
Yeah, it's 100%. That's what we said, Jeff. Like, you're going to sit back, no problem, if that's your tactic, but you got to pace on the counter-attack. Yeah. That's where they killed the goal that was disallowed. They killed Argentina with the pace.
On the counter.
Hazard.
Yeah. Anyway, it's over as far as England are concerned. I think we know just how everyone in England is feeling this morning. How is the rest of the world, though, reacting to that performance? I don't think. Max Scott's back in the studio with us. Morning, Max.
Yeah, I've been given the task of searching through the international media and reaction, and it would seem the whole world is either laughing at England or as completely gobsmacked as most of us are about Thomas Tuchel's tactical decision-making, those substitutions after going 1-0 up. Here's Germany and Bayern Munich legend Thomas Muller saying, I think, what we're all thinking.
Argentina plays a hell of a game, and I cannot believe and understand how England approaches this game, and especially after they're leading. I cannot understand to invite the whole Argentinian game to hit one cross after the other in perfect crossing positions, but no matter. Chicago ahead, Leva, I come to you and see you.
So that's Thomas Muller there. The German media having an absolute field day as well, calling Thomas Tuchel public enemy number 1. But it's not just about the approach, the subs, the tactics. It's just about the mentality. Marca, England collapse. La Gazzetta in Italy. England lose control and pay the price. England retreat too much, punished by Messi. And then the American journalist Bill Simmons is loving it. He says, if a Boston team lost in the way England just did, I'd honestly need medical attention. I was worried actually about Jamie O'Hara after his rant, but I've seen he's okay on the telly this morning. So basically, everyone's loving it.
Everyone said this. Thomas Muller, legendary player, but we have Andros Townsend who thinks that no one's to blame. Deary me. Do us a favour.
Big Moz's texted. He says, morning, Jeff and Gabby. England haven't played well for 90 minutes in this tournament. We haven't been convincing at all. Tuchel brought in for critical decisions and defining moments, and yet he's failed us. And what is telling is the players' interviews post the Argentina game, they all seemed shocked to defend so deep after scoring. And I think he's got a good point. Actually, the players themselves seemed shocked that they were presumably being told to sit deep.
I just think like we just said, though, like, if you are going to sit deep, like, where's the threat on the counter? If you're Argentina, get forward. We've got no problem. Romero, I've got this covered. I mean, Bellingham's shattered. He's never going to be one that's going to run in behind. Rodgers is shattered from defending. What people don't realise, maybe, that our next player can sort of go into a bit of detail, is that when you're chasing shadows, Max and Jeff, It's difficult, mate. It's easier when you've got the ball. You're chasing shadows. You're shattered. Make some changes.
But what's
some
so
more positive
frustrating,
changes.
Gaz, is I don't think we lost to a team that was so much better than us. That's what's if
it's a
they were
mindset.
dominant, you kind of accept it.
wasn't.
It feels even more sickening that we had it in the palm of our hands.
And the problem is, you know,
capitulate.
sometimes when you go to that 5 at the back, 6 at the back, who picks up who? Who's picking up McAllister? Nobody, because there's so many of yous. Dan Burn for the second goal is on the front post. Dan Burn, your biggest header of the ball, so in the centre of the goal.
Yeah.
Dan Burn, who ended up playing centre forward. Wow.
Ivan Tony, there you go. There's 1 minute, Ivan. Cheers. Thanks, Gaffer.
Max, thanks very much indeed.
Cheers, Max.
Let's head to the phone line. Steve's an Evertonian. Morning, Steve.
Morning, Steve.
Good morning, lads.
Morning, mate.
So what do you make of it all, mate?
Jeff, let me have my normal rant, please, mate.
Off you go.
Come on, mate.
This geezer has got to go. And he hasn't got none. All the managers we've had, when we get into the situations where we have to make the big decisions, they fail. He had his only one and only in this World Cup at the task last night against Argentina. And for 72 minutes, we were great. And then all of a sudden, he makes error after error after error. Bring Dan James, bring Big Dan Burn on and take Reece James out. Put him in the middle if you're going to go defensive. At least we got someone in there that can head the ball. But for me, no like for like. When he took Gordon off, you've got to bring on. You've got Saka there and you've got Rashford. Why change the way we're playing? He waved the white flag. He is not the man, Jeff. He is not the man. And to top it all off, us as England and as a nation, we had us on the edge of our seats, and everyone can see it. Even me dog who's watching it, and he's blind, and he can see what's happening. You just knew they were going to score a goal, and that was it. Plan A, that's all he had. Defend, 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 and he can't even admit it. We don't want him taking us into the Euros because he's not the man. Do whatever you need to do to go and get Pep. We need a man. No one's got faith in him. Harry Kane said it. 25 minutes, half an hour out. We cannot defend. He shook the life out of them lads, and them lads are not to blame. Every one of them lads give everything.
Yep.
He shook the life out of us. He is this so-called elite manager that blew it big time, and everyone can see it. Even me dog that can't see. He is not worth tuppence, Jeff. Get him out of our team. We need someone in there that's got a pair of cojones, Jeff. Trust me, he's got it wrong on all levels. We lived through the tournament. We've seen little bits of maybe this is the fella. He had his acid test when we were 1-0 up, and he took Gordon off. He killed us, Jeff. He killed us as a team, as a nation, and he made us look weak. And that's one thing we're not. As a nation, we're not weak. If we get beat, at least go down dying on your sword. He surrounded him, Tuchel, the German. He is to blame. Him, Jeff. No one else. The lads were brilliant. He is the one. He's the one who's let us all down. He's the one who blew it. How can we have faith in a man that doesn't have faith in his team and his players? And I think he's lost it now, Jeff. He needs to go.
£8 million a year as well.
Competitions.
You done, Steve?
I'm done, Jeff.
Oh, good luck. We needed your dog in the technical area last night. That's what we needed, mate.
He'd have done a better job, Jeff.
Brilliant.
He'd have done a better job.
Oh,
Got
Steve.
it wrong on all levels, Jeff. Please, everyone's saying it. And what's making it worse for us as English, and us English are proud of honesty. Us English are proud of the truth. We can take that. Don't pull a wool over our eyes.
Yeah.
Don't tell us that you didn't make a mistake.
Yeah.
Please, Jeff, honestly, and as a nation, and you know we love our football, Jeff, and we've got the best sports radio station in the world, and we're going to talk about this for the days and things to come. There's 9 ways to skin a cat, and that one way he should have played yesterday was like for like. He didn't do it. Half an hour to go, Jeff, and he waved the white flag. That's not England. We never waved the white flag, Jeff. Never.
Steve.
You know what, Jeff? Let me finish off, Jeff. What no one's mentioned, I've heard all morning, right? We could have come off that game losing 4-5-1 quite easily, Jeff.
No.
That could have been 4-5-1 to Argentina.
Yeah, I mean, Pickford was terrific, and you know, they hit the woodwork a couple of times. Steve, Love your passion, pal. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me on, Jeff.
Pleasure, mate. Dean, the Cambridge United fan, just says, how on earth did Kobbie Mainoo not get a kick at the World Cup? Last 2 games, it was clear Rice was shattered.
Yep.
Yesterday, again, he sticks Reece James in the midfield when Rice comes off. James, who's also a best half fit. Mainoo carries the ball and always looks to play the ball forward. Bizarre. And that comes from Dean, who's a Cambridge United fan. Coming up, we'll get the thoughts of the man who knows just what it's like to be England manager. Sam Allardyce is with us next.
Wow. Performance of the tournament. France absolutely didn't do anything.
I hope they don't
had a
whimper.
nightmare performance. Yeah, whimper without no fight. But Spain, wow. That was watching Pep Guardiola's Barcelona, that was. The way they were popping that ball past France to death. France couldn't handle the passing style of Spain. They weren't pressing as a team. You saw a team there in Spain, and you saw France with superstars that all had a nightmare of a game. And very poor performance from France. I'm sure they're going to be getting a lot of stick. Luckily, we got Emmanuel Petit on at the end of the show, and he's going to be thinking to himself, didn't see that coming.
I couldn't stop thinking about Manu last night.
Yeah,
I thought, oh my! Even the show yesterday, I felt that we had such a build-up in favour of France. Have we completely underestimated Spain?
We've underestimated them, but rightly so, in the sense of their performances in this tournament. You know, they haven't performed to the level they did last night. Sometimes we talk at start of tournaments that it's not about how you start a tournament, it's how you end them. And Spain have proved that. Drawing 0-0 to Cape Verde, and some of their performances haven't been exciting. Even the win over Portugal wasn't their greatest performance.
Yeah.
But they've kept their best form for the semi-finals, so it's going to be a scary final, whoever plays Spain. Because the way Rodri and Fabian Ruiz controlled that game, Cucurella looked like the best left-back in the world last night. The way he kept Elise quiet, that was a shadow of Elise we've seen this whole tournament. Dembele, Mbappe, Barcola, Doué, they had nothing for an organised Spanish side.
Really, I was in shock.
Yeah.
You know, I think a lot of us just couldn't believe what and we shouldn't be, because it's Spain. They're the current European champions.
This might be the most iconic image in English sporting history, the moment Bobby Moore lifted the World Cup. It meant the flag of St George could forever be draped on the Jules Rimet, and Moore would be a hero always, despite the twists and turns of his eventful World Cup career. Bobby Moore went to the World Cup in 1962, but didn't play a single game. A year later, though, he was made England captain, leading the side as they built up to 66. But Moore might never have played in the tournament. He was in a contract dispute with West Ham and was technically a free agent. And an FA rule meant free agents were ineligible to play for England. Sir Ralph Ramsey stepped in and forced West Ham and Moore to sign a deal. Phew. Then, when the final came around, Moore might not have played in that either. According to Sir Geoff Hurst's autobiography, he overheard Sir Ralph discussing the idea of dropping Moore in favour of Norman Hunter to help deal with the German attack. But he stuck with Moore and didn't live to regret it. 4 years later, Moore was shrouded in controversy. On a pre-tournament team trip to Colombia, he was arrested, accused of stealing a bracelet from a gift shop, and placed under house arrest for 4 days. Perhaps the most famous match of that tournament was England's group game against Brazil, in which he made what's still described as the perfect tackle. It's so beautiful. After the game, another iconic image. The quarter-final defeat to West Germany would be his last World Cup match. England failed to qualify in '74 and Moore stepped away, leaving the most incredible legacy. He was made an inaugural inductee to the English Football Hall of Fame in 2002, and in 2007 this statue was unveiled at Moore outside the new Wembley Stadium. It was described as the finishing touch.
Dry your eyes, mate. I know it's hard to take, but her mind has been made up.
Good morning, this is World Cup Breakfast. I'm Jeff Stelling, former England striker Gabby Agbonlahor with me. We're here with Arnold Clark. It's the perfect time to upgrade your car, get 2 years free servicing. When you buy a used car in the upgrade event, check it out online. Ray has texted in. He said, total overreaction by your team. We did extremely well to get to the semi-final. If we had thought we could do this before the start of the World Cup, we would have taken it. Argentina were the better team, also dealt with the heat better, and Messi was good. Germany, Italy, France, etc. got nowhere. Sometimes you get text, Ray, I appreciate the text, but sometimes you get text where you just agree with absolutely nothing in it.
Aircon Stadium, Ray.
Yeah, so it wasn't the heat because it's an air-conditioned stadium. Germany, Italy and France got nowhere. Well, Italy didn't qualify for the finals, so you're right there. But we wouldn't have done. We wouldn't have taken the semi-final, in my opinion, not with the draw that we had, not with the run to the semi-finals we had. Thomas Tuchel was brought in to take us on to become winners, and that's what we have failed at doing. So badly in
Jeff, you watched a lot of football in your time, a lot of different games. Have you ever known a team, even in an FA Cup game against the Premier League team, a lower league conference team, to have 7.5% possession, 25 minutes of a game?
No.
I've never known that in my life.
Yeah. And I'll be honest with you, Gabby, I'm not having it that Spain's players are so much technically better than England's players. I'm just not having that, you know?
Not at all. Look at our technical players we've left at home. Yeah. Palmer and Foden. We've got players that are technical to play that sort of football.
Absolutely. So last night's game, the only place we can start this hour, or indeed any hour today on talkSPORT. Let's look back at it now in partnership with Burger King.
The Breakfast Briefing on talkSPORT with Burger King Burger Buddies. Total tournament satisfaction delivered by the experts. Order now on the BK app.
What do I say when it's all over?
It's a familiar story as the full-time whistle blows. No less painful for its repeated telling.
Sorry seems to be the hardest word.
No, I don't regret it. It doesn't help if you regret anything. You take the decision in the moment.
It's sad, so sad, with a sad situation.
You don't ever want to leave the field thinking, I should have done this, I should have done that. Why didn't I do that?
Oh, it seems to me that sorry seems to be the hardest word.
So O'Reilly and Byrne for Rice and James.
All it done was draw the Argentinians onto us, who showed an aptitude over this World Cup to turn games round when it's going against them.
And let's face it, Argentina were the better side. 56 minutes after England scored until 90 plus 2, but Argentina went 2-1 up. It's a 36-minute period. England had 12% possession.
I can tell you, if it was still Gareth Southgate in charge, he'd get absolutely ruined.
And in fairness, that's what's happening to Thomas Tuchel today, by and large. No apology from Thomas Tuchel afterwards. Stephen Leighton Buzzard said after the Croatia game, Harry Kane said, credit to the manager. He gave a speech at half-time and said, if we lose in our way. I think we saw it. You saw that in the way we came out in the second half. We went full gas and they couldn't live with it. Tuchel's tactics last night went completely against England's best 45 minutes of the tournament. Baffling. Let's bring in a man who knew a bit about organising brilliant defences. It's the former England boss, Sam Allardyce. Morning, Sam.
Morning, Sam.
Morning.
Morning, mate.
Sam, did you understand what Thomas Tuchel was trying to do?
No, not really. I think it was too early to do that for me. I think that they got a really good goal, and there was obviously going to be a change in the game because Argentina were 1-0 down, but we didn't cope with that well, and I didn't think that we handled the ball well enough to keep the pressure off ourselves. We didn't stop the crosses in the end, and Jordan Pickford was a hero in terms of trying to keep us at 1-0, but the way the game was going, it wasn't going to last. We needed to change the way we were approaching the game, and unfortunately failed to do that. And as I've said before, there's nothing like quality crosses in the world of football that cause the opposition problems, and too many tactics today, even in the Premier League, is don't cross the ball, check back and check out. Whereas this time, Argentina showed us how to cross the ball and put us under enormous pressure, and we cracked in the end. But I was disappointed on the way we then defended and the way we tried to play the game out with 20 odd minutes to go, was it? 25, 26 minutes to go.
Sam, I don't know what you was like, Sam, with your players, but Martin O'Neill used to absolutely hammer anybody on the pitch who didn't stop the cross. Nowadays, absolutely. It's like, just let the cross in. Stop the cross.
It's true. I think that, too many teams today don't cross enough. I mean, it creates excitement, it creates opportunity, and that was certainly shown by the way Argentina came back in the game, and it helped them to win it in the end. So stopping a cross is a big task, a big challenge, and those players in that area, you coach the team to double up with those dangerous players to stop those crosses. And, we got big enough men in the middle of the pitch to stop the cross, to head the ball out. But when it's coming in relentlessly, in the end, there's going to be opportunity. And like I said, I thought Pickford made some unbelievable saves to keep us at 1-0. But unfortunately, in the end, it wasn't enough.
Yeah, I think Reef, who's a Crew fan, is speaking for a lot of people when he says Argentina are both centre-backs on a yellow card and they've subbed on 38-year-old Otamendi. The game was screaming for us to go and attack for a second goal. Bring on Saka and Rashford with some pace and put them to the sword. And that was pretty much what Egypt had done, wasn't it, in the previous round against Argentina? They hit them with pace on the break, but we didn't seem to attempt that at all in the second half, Sam.
No, well, that was after we scored, Jeff, I'd say. I mean, after we scored, it became the opposite. It became all Argentina for us, and that breakaway and use those spaces Argentina were leaving. We didn't use those properly. We didn't get that second goal, like I said, but also we didn't defend very well, and we haven't defended that well all tournament. Going into the game, I said to everybody, you do know that unless we keep a clean sheet, we won't get through this tie, and we haven't kept a clean sheet throughout the whole tournament. And funnily enough, the team that's in the final have the best defensive record in this tournament, and that's Spain. I think up to now, I think they've only conceded 1 goal. I might be wrong.
Yeah, you're right.
Everybody goes on about how good Spain are, but you look how good Spain are at defending. So we've not been great at defending the whole tournament, and it's caught us out this time.
Sam, the problem as well is that if you are going to go into that back five, you have to have outlets, don't you? Quick players up front that are going to get you out. I played that role so many times off the left or down the middle. We used to play the Man Cities and Arsenals, and you hit them on the counter-attack, and you get a chance, and you get yourself up the pitch, and it makes the opposition team maybe keep more players back, doesn't it? But to have nobody who's quick, and you're trying to see it out for 30 minutes, it's incredibly hard, isn't it?
Well, yes. I mean that you've got to give Argentina some credit on the way they up the game. I'll do that as much as I dislike doing it for all the cheating they tried to do right from the very start. But I mean, we knew that was going to happen before the game started, and it certainly did. But the referee handled it pretty well, I thought. But when you get possession under pressure, you can't waste it when you're in that position. And Argentina are bound to make and leave spaces because they've now become desperate. They're now looking at going out the competition. So that's the magic time to exploit those spaces and punish the opposition. And like I said, we failed miserably to do that. You don't have to have more possession than the opposition to win a game of football. What you have to do is exploit the opposition better than they exploit you. So we didn't defend very well, and we didn't exploit the opposition with a huge amount of spaces that they were leaving. They went for broke. They pushed on and went for broke. It was either going to be come back and win, or England would have got another goal, and that would have finished them off, and they didn't manage to do that.
Hey, Sam, you wouldn't have minded, I mean, just quickly, you wouldn't have minded having a Lionel Messi in one of your teams, would you?
No, not at all. I think he's a great player, but I mean, I hate him this morning because we've not gone through. I think that I thought we handled him brilliantly up to them scoring. I thought that I thought that up to us scoring, Argentina didn't look like scoring. So from that point of view, it's fine. But then it all fell apart, unfortunately. Unfortunately, Thomas will have to handle the blame for that.
Yeah. Sam, thanks so much, mate.
Spot on, Sam. Thank you, mate.
Cheers, lads.
Legend.
Cheers, mate. Jason in North Wales. Tuchel went for the rope-a-dope tactics and got knocked out in the 12th round. Best squad, worst tactics. Coming up, we take your calls here on talkSPORT. Come on and tell us how you're feeling this morning, whether you agreed, Gabby, that Tuchel has to go. That's next. And that was a look at the latest tournament action with Burger King.
The Breakfast Briefing on talkSPORT with Burger King Burger Buddies. Iconic winners delivered in the box every time. Order now on the BK app.
Couldn't get anywhere near Spain, could they, in the midfield? Do you think that the manager should have made a change at half-time? Maybe Digne come off for Hernandez, and also maybe an extra midfielder come on for an attacker?
Well, the fact that Rabiot left at the half-time because he received straight away, yellow card. He was probably our best player on the pitch for the first 45 minutes. But anyway, you could have changed the entire team, against Spain in the half-time. It would have changed nothing. So I think we looked so nervous, so far away from our level. Tactically and technically, we were so poor. Credit to Spain. They really deserve to win. They play really well. I thought that we were different with what happened, 4 years ago. But it was kind of the same game. And they control everything. We had no inspiration, no creativity, no personality. And it was so sad to watch them because I had the feeling watching the game that it was kind of the same game against Morocco, but...
You know what was baffling me, Emmanuel, was whenever you won the ball back, just give the ball away cheaply. Everybody was. No shots on target.
We were so far away from each other,
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think tactically we lost the game, but technically as well, we were so poor, But we looked so nervous. So I still don't understand what happened yesterday. There's so many things that we're missing in that game, and that's why I think we should get over it and still work on it. And but Spain are still our worst enemy, actually, and it was a lesson of football yesterday, to be honest with you.
Hello, I'm Matt Forden from talkSPORT. This is How to Win the World Cup.
This is the best squad I think England have ever had.
He used to love America, now he doesn't. It's very sad.
It was so important to succeed because of all the pressure we received.
Don't jump for this one, I'm going to knock his head off.
Warning, this podcast does not guarantee England will actually win anything.
Good morning to you. This is World Cup Breakfast with me, Jeff Stelling and Gabby Agbonlahor. 22 minutes past 9 o'clock. The Open underway at Royal Birkdale. Every shot is live on talkSPORT 2 every morning from 7 a.m. Don't forget you can listen to coverage by swiping on the free talkSPORT app. I knew that there'd be some flack flying around for Thomas Tuchel this morning. Didn't realise quite how much there would be. Andy in Manchester says the sight of us just hoofing the ball up to Dan Burn in the last 5 minutes was embarrassing for a country like ours. A clueless manager with Division 2 tactics. Harvey says no problem with going defensive after 1-0, but 10 minutes later, if it's obviously not working, change.
Yes.
That's where he shows how hopeless he is as a coach. He said, I'm a tennis coach to high-level players. If coming to the net is the plan and you keep getting past, then you change. Tuchel is 11.
We're paying £8 million a year for a coward. Simple as that. Get rid of him.
Criticism all morning for Thomas Tuchel in his approach after England took the lead. But earlier on the show, Andros Townsend was with us and he defended the England manager.
Every cross that went in, we didn't win a header. If you're going to go to 5 at the back, you have to win the headers. You can't be so deep.
That's not Thomas Tuchel's fault.
Yeah,
that's not Thomas Tuchel's fault. He didn't win a header.
Yeah, but Thomas Tuchel, you invite pressure. In the first half, Messi didn't have a sniff. Anderson was on him. Spence was on him. Second half, he stood on the right-hand side on his own. Rodri de Paul on his own. You can't defend for 30 minutes like that. You've got no get-out ball, so you win the ball, you look up, and you've got no one to get you out. You don't agree that Rashford should have come on, or Saka, or Watkins?
No, I think Nico O'Reilly was the right change. Because listen, Gabby, I've covered Argentina twice in this World Cup. I've watched every single game of them, and every game, Messi starts high, he tries to get the ball in the pockets. As the game goes on, he drops deeper and deeper and deeper. You saw the positions he was picking up in the second half. It was like a centre midfield position on the right. That's what he likes to do. So Thomas Tuchel getting Nico O'Reilly on to defend Messi in a higher position, in a left wing position, is a smarter choice with 15 minutes to go than getting a Rashford to mark Lionel Messi. It doesn't make sense. There was no outball. We had no outball. We tried. We had Morgan Rogers. We had Harry Kane and Bellingham trying to press high. It was not working, Gabby. I promise you. I've watched it twice after the final whistle.
Yeah, glutton for punishment. You don't agree?
I feel like I've been rage baited. A lot of people say I rage bait. I don't mean to. I feel like Andros is laughing after he left us. So I was going to say that I've been rage baited. He doesn't mean it. He's just winding us up, Jeff. Let's leave it as that. Yeah.
Former England striker Michael Owen's been weighing in on X. He said, watch Spain at 1-0. That's courage. That's bravery. Then watch England at 1-0. What's the difference? We are a better team than Argentina. I've no doubt in my mind, but we deserve to get beat in the end. In fact, it could have been 4-1. Bringing 3 defenders on at 1-0 up. What message does that send? Yes. Wollaston Village FC have texted me and said, Thomas Tuchel, tonight, Matthew, I'm going to be Gareth Southgate.
Yeah. Honestly, Jeff, I don't know, because the whole tournament, Jeff, we've loved his positivity in his subs. Wasn't working. Sub at half time when Eze come on. We've liked that for the whole tournament. He's got loads of fans. We were all applauding him after the Mexico game. Yeah, heroic team. Yes, but Michael Owen's spot on. Bravery is who wants to get on the ball? Bravery is, yes, they had a chance. Jed Spence got back and got a great tackle in. But you know what, though? I'm not going to change it because of that. We're going to attack Argentina, and that's bravery, going for the second goal, not sitting back on the edge of your box.
Yeah.
At times, Elliot Anderson was in line with the centre-halves.
And people tell me we're not technical enough to keep the ball.
Of course we are.
Eberic Eze is sitting on the bench, is a brilliant technical player.
And also, Jeff, a ball carrier.
Yeah.
Get us up the pitch.
Look, let's get some more views of fans. Paul's an Arsenal fan. Morning to you, Paul.
Morning, Paul.
Good morning, guys, man. Fantastic show as always. I've been dying to get on this show.
Thank you, mate. I mean? Thank you very much. So, look, I mean, the Arsenal content, you're taking a bit of flack.
Yeah, mate. I think it's just, do you know what? I'm looking at that. It's an old school sort of vibe and that, but I'm looking at the Muhammad Ali Foreman effect. I'm going to use that today. I'm going to look at how Muhammad Ali batters George Foreman. They wore us down. We're too tired. It's not a manager's mistake. I mean, look, managers are going to make decisions. Up to 75 minutes, 80 minutes, we're doing fine, and the manager's doing great. The guys are knackered. They're absolutely knackered. If you put on even if you put on quick players, you're not going to be able to feed them because these boys are absolutely shattered. I've seen it at Arsenal all season. Do you know what I mean? We got to the Champions League final, and we are shattered. Do you know what I mean? And that's what I think. I think we're quick to blame managers all the time, but players. I'm an ex-player, man, and it's been a while since I've played. Gabby, I've actually played at youth level, man, but we won't go there. But literally, players need to look in the mirror, man, and just say, look, we do too much too soon. That's the way it is with England. We always do too much too soon, and then we get hyped up. We score a goal, and then we have to sit back because that's an English mentality. We sit back and defend. I just think, man, it's not a manager's decision here. It's the players. Look in the mirror, guys.
The manager changed the formation, not the players.
Pardon?
The manager changed the formation to a 5. The manager brought 3 defenders on.
Gabby, you know as a player, when you're losing a game, it's that tight and there's so much on it. I'm not talking over you guys because you're a good player and you've done your thing, but I just think players retreat, they get tired. A couple of days ago, you're playing a big game, extra time.
It's the same for the It's the same for the Argentinians, Paul.
Pardon?
It's exactly the same for the Argentinians. They've been playing the same number of games. They've been going to extra time.
Yeah, you look at Messi, how he plays. He hardly runs. Haaland's the guy the other day. He hardly moves around the pitch, so he's conserving his energy. Messi knows what he's doing all game. We know that about Messi.
Paul, the manager changed the tactics once we scored. Not the players. The players sat back. I didn't see Thomas Tuchel screaming on the sideline to push up. I didn't see that at all, did you?
Gabby, I hear you. And let me tell you, as an English fan, I am gutted. Trust me, I'm gutted. But it's a collective. It's never just one person. You know that, Gabby.
No, I disagree, mate. It is. It's Thomas Tuchel. The players didn't ask to sit back. The players will do as they're told. And that's what they did. And that's why they moaned after the game. Harry Kane, our captain, Mark Gahey, after the game, they moaned about it because that isn't what they wanted to do.
I'll tell you the point I will make alongside that. And I will say we have 6-foot guys at the back. There's something that I'm looking at Pickford as well within this. Why doesn't he come off his line?
Are you winding us up, mate? Paul?
No, I'm being serious. Why doesn't he come off his line on the crosses? Why doesn't he come off his line?
Are you joking?
No, I'm being serious.
Paul, thank you very much indeed, mate. Thanks for the call.
Yeah, appreciate you, bro. Cheers.
Cheers, mate. And somebody just texted in a minute and says, how come Messi at 39 wasn't tired in response to Paul there? By the way, I'm not sure if this is true or not, but I'm suspecting it probably is. Somebody says Tim from Sussex says, guess who England are playing rugby against on Saturday? Yep, Argentina. Might be lively, eh? Coming up, we hear from Harry Kane and whether last night was his last appearance at the World Cup. That's next.
Mick McCarthy joined Simon and Piers, decided to take Piers Morgan on regarding an incident way back in 2009 when, as Wolves manager, he rested a number of players for a trip to Old Trafford.
I've always respected you hugely, genuinely, as a manager.
Except when I dropped 10 players at Wolverhampton.
Yeah, well, that was terrible.
You did say something that I was particularly unhappy about.
I thought it was shocking.
Yeah.
Yeah, go on. Well, what was your problem with what I said? You must have known I was right.
You're never right, mate. you just antagonise people with your comments, which you're doing on this show quite clearly. No. So when you said it, my job is to win games.
Yes.
We went to Spurs the Saturday before. We won 1-0 with about 35% possession. We've got Manchester United on the Tuesday. I went there and I dropped 10 players. I have a squad of 22. If I'm a manager, it's my right to manage that team how I see and get results.
And it's my right as an Arsenal fan who you were directly impacting with your cowardice
because you weren't good enough because you weren't good enough to win the title. And Sir Alex won it again and he won it. You weren't good enough, so you blame me, which is real bad on my part.
Now I know what Roy Keane's problem was.
No,
just to be clear. By dropping 10 players, you let United walk all over you, which had a direct impact on my team's chances of winning the league. I thought that was an appalling abrogation of your duty as a manager to entertain the fans with the best available team.
Clear you up. My duty was to beat Burnley on the Saturday, and we did.
Well, Mick hasn't forgotten, has he? That's for sure.
Oh, no, he went further than that. He said that Piers was a purveyor of the wrist action. Went into that sort of territory, which I was inclined to agree with.
Iconic. There's no other word. An 18-carat gold trophy that owns the world, and it waits. It waits for 4 years. It's 1971 and FIFA need a new trophy to replace the Jules Rimet, so they launch a worldwide design competition. And in his studio in Milan, 50-year-old sculptor Silvio Gazzaniga immediately gets to work. But instead of sending FIFA a picture, he goes further and makes a prototype they can hold. It works. FIFA choose his design over 52 others, and perhaps the most beautiful piece of silverware or goldenware enters the beautiful game. Let's let the artist himself describe it. Gazzaniga said the idea was to create something symbolising exertion, dynamism, and the jubilation of an athlete in the moment of victory, with all the joy that contains. The malachite rings in the base fitted the sculpture well because it's green like a football field, and it's also a precious stone. The first captain to lift the trophy was Franz Beckenbauer in 1974, and of course, it's only the greatest who get their hands on it. Zoff, Matthias paved the way for the modern-day heroes who dreamt of lifting Gazzaniga's masterpiece. But there was something about this man holding it that seemed to deliver everything the sculptor had imagined. Were I to ever redo it, the artist once said, I wouldn't change a thing.
Morning to 9:35. It is Thursday, July the 16th. This is World Cup Breakfast with me, Jeff Stelling Gabby Agbonlahor, Arnold Clark. Browse the UK's best used car deals and score your dream car today. Check out their website for more details. Let's head straight back to the phone lines. Do we trust Thomas Tuchel to take us to the Euros? Home Euros, of course, as well. What an opportunity that will be. Nick is an Arsenal fan. Morning, Nick.
Morning, Nick.
Hiya, both.
Hello, mate. What do we do? Do we stick with Thomas Tuchel?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. That was basically shambolic yesterday, and it would be a dereliction of duty if we had this guy still in charge. It was so obvious what was happening in that game. You know, I've been waiting years for the revenge of that hand of God and that game against and that game with Maradona, and we had the game in the palm of our hands. There is no way. He has shown us who he is. He has literally shown us who he is. He is, for all of his talk, when it came down to it, he showed us exactly who he is. So how can we now trust him to deliver the Euros in the coming years? He's shown us who he is. So why would you go that route? We need change, and we need decisive change. The squad that was picked, arguably there were a few question marks. The only one I would give him credit for is probably the Jed Spence one. I never saw that coming, but Jed Spence actually had a really good tournament.
He did.
Nick, I don't think the questions last night were enough. I want to speak to him, but I won't be able to. We need a proper sit down. We need like a 2-hour interview, a sit down, explain your decisions. Like, this is England. Okay, like what you have done, the disappointment you've put on a lot of people's lives. We need an explanation of your decisions, Thomas Tuchel. This isn't forgotten.
Absolutely. I just think that even with those explanations, we cannot trust him to deliver what we want.
As Simon Jordan says, when you show me who you are, I'll believe you.
Nick, thank you very much indeed. Dom in Devon agrees with you. He said, why would any team in any future competition be scared of England under Thomas Tuchel? No. If they know his mentality is when we go 1-0 up, we're going to park the bus with 30 minutes to go. Right, time to look ahead to the World Cup final now. Yep, we have to do that.
Do we?
Yeah, we do. And it appears that even at 39, Lionel Messi could be the star of the show.
High-pressure picks on talkSPORT with Sure. Non-stop protection deodorant that won't ever let you down.
The latest rendition of the tango takes place, and it's Messi's first dance against England. But if England are at their best, it could be the last tango in Atlanta.
You know, the big issue we got at the moment, Messi has had more touches probably in the last 10 minutes than he did at the whole of the first half, and that is a problem for England.
Messi, great shape on that volley. What a save from Pickford. Starting away to his right-hand side. He's got a strong right hand to it. Messi takes it on again. 39-year-old getting it back. Series of 1-2s.
Messi's the danger. He's dropping out wide. He finds little elements of space.
Messi gets the return ball again. Just trying to shuffle his way towards the edge of the penalty area. Sets it up for Fernandes again in space. And there's the equaliser.
Listen, if it wasn't England, we'd be sitting here saying what a privilege to watch that. It just hurts a little bit too much right now.
Back in from Messi. And headed in by Lautaro Martinez.
The quality of Messi's crosses has been absolutely sensational.
England just haven't come close to replicating that kind of service.
He's just ridiculous. The best player we've ever seen, Lionel Messi, and England have got done by him.
Argentina just one win away from becoming the first nation since Brazil in 1962 to retain their World Cup If they beat Spain in New York on Sunday, it's live on talkSPORT from 8. Let's bring in a man who'll be buzzing this morning up in the northeast. It's former Argentinian Premier League midfielder Julio Arca. Morning, Julio.
Morning, Julio.
Good morning, lads. I'm not going to ask you how you are, because I can guess.
Thank you, mate. But look, we talked a lot about, how England got it so wrong after going 1-0 up. But how proud were you of the way that Argentina responded to going 1-0 down?
Well, to be honest, I watched the game again today. Obviously, when you watch it for the second time, you see difference. And I know England did well the first half, but when you look at the amount of chances that Argentina had during the game, we probably have 6-7 good chances, Yes, England set back in the second half quite a lot, and it was quite deep. And obviously, that gave Argentina the advantage of putting pressure on them. It gave more space to Messi. When Messi started to play on the right, especially in the second half, that's when we started creating more chances. And also, we look a bit fitter. I think we look physical, a gear or 2 gears above England, especially in the second half.
I think as well, you're spot on there. But is that just a desire of Argentina in the sense of we want to win the World Cup for Messi again? We've seen Alvarez say it 2 days before the game. We want to win it again for Messi. Is that spirit and determination that Argentina have got, that we're not going to be tired? We have to win the World Cup again.
Yeah, and when I see that, Gabby, when they were singing, when the Argentinian players were singing the anthem, you could see how much they want to win that game. I don't know why, but you could see on their eyes that they were desperate to win that game. And obviously, they showed that. That's probably the best game Argentina played in this World Cup. Because they haven't been playing well, but they showed last night what they're capable of.
Yeah. Obviously, Thomas Tuchel's come in for a lot of criticism during the course of the morning. But by contrast, how much credit does Scaloni deserve for the changes that he made?
Yes, you're right there. I think the changes he made last night were key. And I wasn't comfortable with Paredes coming out of the team, but look, he put the 2 wingers, Nicolas Gonzalez on one side, and he put Montiel on the other side. They were fresh, they had the legs. We started to attack England on both sides, putting crosses on the box. And yes, they done really, really well. And obviously, Lautaro Martinez done really well as well by scoring the second goal.
Julio, what did you think of the tactics from Tuchel, though, when he did go to 5 at the back and then he brings on 2 other defenders after that? Do you think an Argentinian side, they looked at that and says, okay, they're here for the taking?
I'm not sure if they were thinking or saw that, but obviously having 5-4-1, I think that's what England was trying to play. Obviously, you invite pressure, don't you? Especially knowing that Argentina in the last 10, 15 minutes seemed to get stronger. That's what happened the last 2 or 3 games. So to do that against an Argentinian team that can score goals up to the last minutes is complicated. So they invite pressure, and Argentina obviously took advantage of that. We scored 2. We could have probably scored 3 or 4,
Yeah. So it's Spain in the final on Sunday then, Julio. How are you feeling about that? Spain really impressive against France.
Yes, Spain is another team that is been picking up during the last few games. They've been playing better and better. And obviously they show on last game what they're capable to do. So, look, they play more or less the same style in Argentina. So I believe it's going to be a good game. Probably not as physical as the game was yesterday, but should be a good game, and we'll see. Hopefully, we'll manage to achieve another World Cup again.
Julio, we're angry at the tactics of the manager. We feel like that cost us in the game. We were there to go and try and get a second goal. But talk us through what every Argentinian fan must feel like, because this team, they fight and fight. Yesterday was a bit of a battle, wasn't it? And they show fight and they find a way, don't they? They must be so proud to be Argentinian.
Oh, yeah. I cannot explain you how proud was everyone. I mean, last night, the country just stopped for 3, 4, 5 hours. Everyone was in the street celebrating. They knew how important was this game. To be honest, for the majority of the people, the final was last night. Whatever happened on Sunday, obviously, we want to win it. But whatever happened on Sunday, it should happen. I mean, this team done fantastically well. For Messi to have his second World Cup will be absolutely fantastic. But what this team done the last 4 or 5 years since Scaloni been in charge, it's been great. And I don't think, this could be probably done again in the same way.
Julio, have a great day. I'm sure you will. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, lads. Good to see you. Take care.
You
Bye-bye.
too.
Thank you, mate.
Former Premier League midfielder Julio Arca there with us. And that was Look Ahead with Sure, non-stop protection deodorant that won't ever let you down. Just quickly, Dana Forrest fan says, it's criminal that it took to the semi-final to realise Morgan Rogers offered more than Madueke or an unfit Saka on the right. That's all on Tuchel. He's not what we're looking for. It's as simple as that. I certainly don't want him in the Euros. Imagine doing that against Germany in a semi-final.
Okay, we'll be
runners up
worth
again. Thinking about. Coming up, we finish the show by taking more of your calls. It's your final chance to tell us what you think about that England performance last night.
High pressure picks on talkSPORT with Sure, official sponsor of FIFA World Cup 2026.
When we have a 4-2-4 system, a players like Olmo, if you look at him, he's always between two lines.
Yep.
This player, you saw it in the game with Belgium, you saw it in the game with Portugal. He is exactly the kind of, I would say, a virus who is entering in the blood of the opponents, and he killed us. He was one of the players perfectly suited to kill us.
Yeah. Can I just ask your thoughts on Mbappe last night as well? I mean, did he let himself down, Eric? I know he's a big player, he's a big personality, but even walking off last night, not shaking anybody's hands, I mean, how does that look?
It looks like the real Mbappe is back. There is two Mbappe, the one who is having a mission and the one who can be positive and working and sharing and being the leader of a team. And when he loses his gift, his toy, when the toy is broken, suddenly the teenager who is part of him comes back, the one who is selfish, the one who is a bit aggressive when he gets a yellow card with the goalkeeper, the one who doesn't share hands with opponent, the one who suddenly in the last 20 minutes he knew the game was lost and he played for himself. He made some useless kicks, shots. Sorry. So altogether, we are back with the Mbappe from Paris Saint-Germain, the Mbappe sometimes of Real Madrid, the Mbappe that we know that
Get ready to get that winning feeling with talkSPORT Win. This summer, talkSPORT is bringing you live and official coverage of every game of the FIFA World Cup 2026. And to celebrate, we're giving away £26,000 guaranteed. Go to win.talksport.com to enter now. And you could win 26 grand in your hand, tax-free. Enter now and you could be the next to get that winning feeling, courtesy of talkSPORT Win. Find out how to enter now at win.talksport.com.
Good morning, this is World Cup Breakfast with me, Jeff Stelling and Gabby Agbonlahor. It's 9:49, Thursday, July the 16th, the morning after the night before. England captain Harry Kane says it's too early to judge whether he could play on for his country until the next World Cup in 2030. He will be 36 by then. England manager Thomas Tuchel's told talkSPORT he has no regrets about going so defensive. Really? And it's day one of the Open Championship at Royal Birkdale on the northwest coast. It's live on talkSPORT 2, bring you every shot right through the conclusion on Sunday evening. And let's get an update right now with talkSPORT golf correspondent Rupert Bell. Rupert, good start by Fitzpatrick, not Matt, but Alex.
Absolutely, a stunning start for Alex Fitzpatrick, only playing in his second Open, but of course he's had a breakthrough year, winning in America, and he's won subsequently, and he had a back-to-back birdies and to get to 2 under par. Birdies at a premium, though, in pretty benign conditions. Thomas Dietrich, who was first out this morning, well, he's 3 under through 13 holes of his opening round. Alex Smalley, the American making his debut at the Open Championship, has begun in the perfect fashion with a couple of birdies to get to 2 under through 3. Other players going along well. Robert McIntyre, well, he's dropped a shot to slip back to 1 under par. Andy Sullivan is also going along steady enough. Just beginning excellently is Justin Rose. In his 23rd Open Championship, he's opened up with a birdie to get to 1 under par.
The Open Championship update on talkSPORT with Arnold Clark. Choose from over 20,000 used cars online and score your dream car today.
Rupert, thanks very much indeed for that. Don't forget, we do have some good news on this miserable Thursday morning. We have £26,000 in cash, completely tax-free to give away. Head to talksportwin.com right now to enter. More good news, by the way, is that Sean Dyche is our guest tomorrow morning. He'll be alongside me from 6. And Ben Foster will also be joining us from 8. Ted in Portsmouth. Tuchel was hailed as an elite manager because he won the Champions League, but so did Roberto Di Matteo. Tuchel's been found out. He clearly didn't watch the matches against Egypt and Cape Verde. Parking the bus with 30 minutes left was tactical suicide. He has to go.
Jeff.
My pick would be Eddie Howe.
Do you know what I want, Jeff? Once the tournament's over, I want a live sit-down interview, whoever it is in the country that sits down with him, and to explain his decision live to the nation. Everyone across the world can see it, because he can't get away with that, mate. To lose his job, but also to give a live interview. Why did you do that after your comments about Southgate's team 2 years ago, and you went and done 10 times worse? Explain yourself, Thomas. The tough questions given to him. Explain, please.
Yeah.
Absolute joker.
And what Gabby's talking about there is after Euro 2024, when Tuchel famously said England are more afraid to drop out of the tournament than having the excitement and hunger to win it.
Wow.
Which
what Gareth thinks now, Southgate
going to come back and haunt him.
Exactly.
Absolutely. I'm sure that Gareth would have been sitting at home, or maybe he was at the game, and he would have been absolutely rooting for England, and many of whom were his players.
Yes.
But of course, he got tortured for not winning a tournament, and Thomas Tuchel is suffering the same fate this morning as well. Let's head to the phone lines. Dave is a Chelsea fan. Morning to you, Dave.
Morning, Dave.
Hello, Dave. So how are you feeling about it all this morning?
Devastated, absolutely devastated.
Yeah, he was your manager, Thomas Tuchel. Do you blame him?
I do, mate. I've sat there last night and I'm watching the first 5-10 minutes, and it was a bit of a rough game, and it gets you on the edge of your seat, because it's, for me, I wanted it to be a bit like that, so we get a bit into the game. And I noticed, I was just thinking, the way would have been to beat them would have been the diagonals over the top to Gordon or Rodgers, and it was starting to work in the first half. And then obviously the goal come from that sort of ball as well, and caused a bit of havoc and made a mistake at the back there. And then Rodgers obviously crossed it in for Gordon. And then you're sitting on a 1-0 lead, and you're sort of going for it. And I'm starting to think to myself, when you're playing against a team with Messi in it, when you're in possession of the ball, you are playing against 10 men. But then we took a step back, and then he brought on all these defenders, and then you're playing against, it's like you're playing against 12 men.
Yeah, completely agree, Dave. Dave, thank you very much for the call.
Thank you, Dave.
Let's talk to Mike, who is an England fan. We're all England fans, but we're all pretty down this morning. Morning, Mike.
Morning, Mike.
Morning. How are you guys?
Yeah, we're okay. How are you?
I wasn't shocked. As soon as he's put on the plane, he didn't put Maguire on the plane. He didn't put Luke Shaw on the plane. He didn't put Trent on the plane. So from the start, we had no defence. And all through this competition, our defence has been shaking every game. We should have lost against Norway, to be fair. We have been riding our luck, and this manager was brought in to win a trophy. He hasn't done that. And as soon as we got the goal, I thought, Bauer's up, attack, from Argentina last night. There was no, warning sign. The warning signs were there, but what do? Go defence. You're not going to be able to play defensive football 30 minutes against that type of side.
Gabby, is Mike right? Did we get it wrong right from the start, right from naming the wrong squad?
Yeah, I think we did, and we've got away with it in games, haven't we, Jeff? And let's be honest, the Mexico game, the Croatia game, yes, we looked brave and we played some good stuff, but there's no difference, is there, Jeff? Have you sat back in this tournament and said, "Oh, I love the Thomas Tuchel football. I love the style that Thomas plays"? Not really.
Just the second half against Croatia, really, and the defending against Mexico with 10 men. But apart from that, no. Mike, thank you very much indeed. We're going to squeeze one more call in just before the end. Will is a Brighton fan. Morning to you, Will.
Morning, Will.
Morning. How are you guys? All right?
Yeah. Okay. What did you make of it?
Not great, but I think there's a bigger picture here. If you start to put Southgate and Tuchel kind of all in the same picture, I think in one that plays in the Premier League who was at this tournament who has excelled. I think that the Premier League, the timetable and the rotation that they have is so intense it actually damages the World Cup for any of the players that are in it. And I just, Adrian touched on it about Arsenal, and, I'm actually a bit of a relative of Adrian's, but I don't think it's just an Arsenal thing. I think it's any team, where any player that has played in that Premier League, I think is so intense. No one's got the fly. And the only way England are going to win, and I hate to say it, is if more players play out of the Premier League, like Bellingham and Kane.
Appreciate your point. There's no doubt that the Premier League is physically taxing, especially for those players who are also trying to perform in the Champions League.
Romero, Enzo Fernandez, they must play where?
Yeah, Rodri, but Rodri missed a lot of the season as well. But I think it's an interesting point from Will. Thank you very much indeed. Got a text in here saying, "Hi guys, just want a message in and say it's brilliant to see England achieve as much as Scotland this World Cup. Steve Clarke could take the England job for the Euros." Gabby, you're going to have a bit of a chill out now?
Yeah, I think I need some time off, Jeff, to be honest, mate. I might take a month. Disappear, mate. Go travelling.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Look, Gabby's going to have a bit of a breather tomorrow morning. Sean Dyche will be with us from 6 o'clock.
Lovely.
Ben Foster will also be in from 8. talkSPORT Breakfast 6 until 10. And let's just try and take some positives from this before we go. 2 positives I can think of from England's defeat against Argentina. We don't have to watch the blooming halftime show.
Yes.
And we certainly don't have to sit and wait to watch Infantino and Trump present the blooming World Cup. I've
got one as well, Jeff, quickly. All the people that are on a jolly up that work with a talkSPORT in America, get yourself home. Hopefully the diversion as well, flight as well for you.
Yeah.
How about that?
Anyway, there'll be more joy coming in a moment or two because Andy Jacobs is going to be here alongside Paul Hawksby. See you tomorrow.
Look, we've seen some amazing players play for England in my lifetime, but I feel that what Bellingham is doing, even if you compare